Quit playing, man. No cap.
I got rich off MetaTrader, I ran it up, got hella paper. Didn't know why these niggas hating, I'm going up like escalators. I walk in the room and shit gon' move just like I decorated. Didn't know the numbers off my head, I had to estimate it. Hey, go ahead, give me all my flaws, but I can still smell them. Looking longer than the yellow pages, I'm a real felon. With my screen blue, I feel better. I'm a pip catcher. We'll be in the field, you on the sidelines like a hip fraction. All the R by 1 and 3, I'm risking 5, I make 15. Slamming shit like Zach Levine, these pairs jumping like trampolines. You can take it all today, I make it shit like tambourines. Yo, nigga be lit, please do not put me by no gasoline. Popping inches after entries. Up in Florida off of Forex, took a withdrawal, bought a jet ski. Shorty said she knew that I was it the minute that she met me. Don't be saying I'm a dog, you on my side just like a pet bee. Force my way and they ain't let me. Staying patient for my entries. I just made my 5K, I will not trade again till next week. I just took a trip to New York, I was posted where the Mets be. Never been a stingy nigga, watch me split it like the Red Sea. I'm from the bottom like bikini. Ramen noodles was the meal, now we expensive fettuccine. I can take your bread and double it, I feel like I'm Houdini. Every day I keep that green on me, I feel like I'm skinny. Call up TP on the phone and let them know I'm on the way. I need it on delay, these charts do what I tell them. Simon say, I don't got time today, I'm still making up all my time away. I'm on my grind today, the way I do it, I'm Big Sean today. I'm blowing back to back, the smoke up in my eye like cataracts. Them boys bandana rap, I swear you don't wanna hear that rat attack. Niggas crashing, I ain't having that, I switch my habitat. As a matter of fact, I learned a new hustle, master that. I got ice up on my neck for all the times I carry niggas. You a scary nigga, you a pussy, call you Jerry nigga. You a fairy nigga, ain't no way that I can spare these niggas. Tryna keep it fair with niggas, but I'm finna bury niggas. Tryna keep it fair with niggas, but I'm finna bury niggas. Tryna keep it fair with niggas, but I'm finna bury niggas. Tryna keep it fair with niggas, but I'm finna bury niggas. I changed the world through your eyes. Normal always changes, I swear. What you cook looks aesthetically pleasing, but no seasoning. Maybe it's the time to let loose what you're having. Not everything is as it seems, but no, it's always happening. Drugs in my cabinet, the plug walked past me in the club, but he tapped me trying to make some kids rich. No more chasing ill shit, bro, I'm too ill for this. Paying these bills with bills, changing my feel for bliss. I got brothers that's been killed, it made my mind shift. I don't utter a sound, I let you judge what you want. I know I've been on the ground, coulda got hit with a round news, splitting my image and brows. Am I limited? Limitless death holding me down, and my pigment is the loudest. Wait, I'm smoking loud, let me finish it. I'm one of one in the crowd, I can't act like I don't know as of now what my mission is.
I told a story once or twice about where I wanna lay.
Stuck in the future, that's why I flights delayed.
Hoping to give back, no kickback, and definitely what I pay.
They say we ain't a man.
Yo. Welcome to Disagreeable. This is Disagreeable. I'm Disagreeable. Welcome to another one. I see we have Shango in the back. I'm gonna bring him up. I wasn't expecting anybody to join this soon. You know, I wanted to get into a little rambling, but why not have somebody come up? You feel me? So, welcoming Shango to the show.
What's the word, big bro? If you want to go ahead and ramble, bro, go ahead, man. I'll wait.
Yeah, you know, I might be interested in what you have to say. So let me get my headphones in real quick because I don't know if this interrupts this. Does it sound funny when I'm talking right now? Or is it good?
Nah, you sound smooth right now, big dog.
All right, cool. So, all right, I was on the homies channel earlier. It went on way longer than we expected. We had some lodge members pull up to the show, and he was breaking down his perspective. You know, these white guys that are on there, Agartha, right. Hyperborean and shit. You know.
Okay.
And I'm not even judging him because it is what it is. You know, I see the this is not even from a supremacy perspective. I see the white man as just being empty and void. You know, I've been in some of the, and this, I don't like talking about the stuff online because I've lived so many lives. I've been in some of the rooms of some of the most powerful people in the world with my old business when it came to pushing psychedelic medicines and new modalities for healing at Concordia. You know?
Right. Right, right.
And being around these super rich people where everybody's a venture capitalist and everybody's sitting on millions, people saying they're hurting because they're down to their last 10 million and shit like that, you get to see that these people are just desperate, and
Right.
especially when I was in South America, people think I just traveled because I was on some passport bro shit or whatever, but not really. I've been in Colombia and Santa Marta and Minca, high in the mountains and coffee farms and fields, searching for biomass to convert into substrate for organic mushroom production, and being with these people out there in these giant mansions on the hill, these private parties with the scientists, the most powerful politicians in the country and whatnot, you realize, and me, I'm just being myself there, and I tend to be quiet. And these people are very interested in the black man, and they're always trying to pick your mind. And I don't know how much you've been around my channel, but you might have seen Magical Family before. We met through music 10 years ago, plus 10 years plus ago. I never saw this guy's face. I didn't know what he did. But soon after 10 years of speaking about music and liking each other's music, we actually began speaking, and I find out that he's a PhD. He's running what do you call those facilities? I don't want to say the name of his facility, but it's what do you call that in a professional way? I can't remember. It'll come to me, but he's running facilities in the Pacific Northwest. He's doing a lot of things in this same world, like adjacent to me, but just a different way, And he also had the same things to tell me because I was bugging out. I was like, damn, the reason I got out of music and art, which I was heavily in, and my people are popping, I don't like to name drop all these people, is because it got weird. You feel me? In Miami, the painting scene and the music scene was very connected to the super rich white people out there who were buying the art, and people knew there were gatekeepers. Like there were certain couples who would invite you over for dinner, and certain niggas would go eat dinner with them, spend a night over there, and then they start popping off, I wasn't willing to do that, and I said, fuck that early, so I was in the streets. And that was my goal, to get my music popping. I was doing very well and getting recognition, but I said, fuck it. So I left that, went deep into the street life. The street life led me into professional life because I was doing my street shit on such a professional level that it led to being into the psychedelic medicine world and all those modalities or whatever. You feel me?
Gotcha.
So I just say that to say this. The weird things that these people are doing and all that, it's really come from desperation, emptiness, and an endless search. It's a void that can't be filled,
Right.
And from my personal experience is how I feel. The black man or the original man, however you want to put it, it's not really that concerned with it because it's just in me. It's in my code. Even though I don't have everything figured out, I am content. That's why they're so interested in us. How can we have our foot in these people's necks and be putting them through hell? And I'm redlining them and doing as much as we can to them. And these niggas are still breakdancing and shit. They don't care.
Yeah, right. You're carrying on, right?
You feel me? And I'm gonna detour from this a bit, and maybe I want to see what you think about this. So, I'm into the futures market and stuff. I've been studying it for years. I got really serious in the last year. And something I really noticed through my technical analysis, because there's technical analysis and fundamental analysis, right? One thing I noticed through my technical analysis is even if I didn't know what was going on news, I forgot to check the news or something that you can't predict what's happening going on, meaning a random speech or a war or something, it lined up perfectly with the technicals. Perfectly. You feel me? And something that happened earlier today, they said, or yesterday now, they said Trump did a tweet and all this money got injected in the market. That injection of money, I was waiting for that position all day. I was sitting there, I had it marked, and I was like, all right. And what did this tweet coincide with? It coincided with the previous week's low. Coincides with the previous week's low. You get a sweep, you get a tap into a 3-month imbalance, and then we get a bounce back up, which only way you get a bounce back up is massive money being injected into the market. Now, what people think, people tend, even there's some people, like I don't watch sports at all, but I do watch a sports decoder because I'm into the decoding shit.
Yeah.
And he thinks everything's fake. He's like, look at these mockeries, man. Everybody's acting. Everybody's in on it. I think it's deeper than that. I think this is emanating. I think we're in some type of AI, and that's just a signature of the AI we're seeing. You feel me?
Mm.
And and here's something interesting too. I have another show where I speak on this woman a bit. I do like reaction to her. It's very interesting to me, Tracy Twyman. And before she was murdered, she was talking about being electronically harassed. This was years and years and years before people were talking about the shit on this level. She was saying that she'd be on the internet and things were being changed in real time to like fuck with her and gaslight her and just trying to make you crazy, you know?
Right.
So earlier when I saw this money get injected into the market, I'm like, oh shit. So I make a little post on my Instagram because I have like a trading Instagram. I'm like, yeah, I've seen this too much over the past years. My observation. I don't think this is simple conspiratorial orchestrations. This is emanating from the same source of debauchery and divination. You feel me? That's all I say, and I'm going to break this down in a little bit. I go back to my IG. That post is gone. I took it down.
Wow.
You feel me? Then I make another post saying, though they took the post down, it's very interesting to me. It goes to the next level. I didn't put anything negative up there. It was all this is very base level speaking. There's no negative imagery. I wasn't using any profanity, but my shit comes down. And I want to say this right. So what did I say? What did I say next? Oh yeah, I said my shit came down, and it's very interesting that when I'm speaking about logic, how you approach the markets, I get very little traction on my IG. But if I happen to be in some apathetic thinking and crashing out, you feel me, scorched earth on a motherfucker, or I'm just spazzing out on reality itself, my numbers, as long as it's apathetic and it's negative, and it's almost like, for me, it's not like that, because I know people believe in astrology and shit like that, but only reason I believe in it because I'm like Scorpio shit, I'm very comfortable with sex and death. You feel me? So in the darkest thinkings, that I try not to speak to people about because I know it will make you depressed. It might make you suicidal. To me, it's just fine. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was saying that oh yeah, when I get into this apathetic thinking and talking, my numbers go crazy. People I don't even know, people I forgot even followed me. My numbers going crazy. It goes from having like 20 views on the story to 120 views on the story. You feel me? After I put that post up, immediately restores the post from earlier. From 2 hours earlier.
That's funny. Wow.
So what is that? You feel me? I know what I think it is, but what do you think that is?
I think it's definitely some kind of AI, man. Because if you look into some of the old books from like the 700s, man, they were talking about artificial intelligence back then. You know, so I think it's some type of AI. Now, the particulars of it, I'm a little wishy-washy on, but I think they got something going on with this shit where it taps into certain people. It like mines, how do I say this? They got some kind of mechanism, some kind of algorithm or whatever that looks for certain people that could potentially be a threat, and it kind of oversees them, if you get what I'm saying. Kind of directs them on the internet when they interface to the internet. I think it only happens when you interface with the internet, to be honest, because when the more that I see it, like if you heard of Brendan O'Connell, he breaks down the IIA operations. I think that's a major part of it, but that's not the totality of it, because it's a little bit more in-depth and esoteric. You know what I'm saying?
What does IIA mean?
Interactive internet activities, right? So essentially it's synonymous with a limited hangout. So they'll try to quarter off people into internet ghettos and algorithms tailored to them so they stay online and waste their day on the internet, arguing with each other, arguing with the approved opposition in a dialectic type fashion, and things of this nature. It was developed by Shadowgate, Patrick Berge, who worked with General Jim Jones. So yeah, it's like naval intelligence shit.
The same thing that I think about when I call them animal farms, you know? They
put everybody into
individual animal farms, and they want to keep you engaged. And the interesting thing is it knows your psychology and biology so well that even as a person who is aware of it, like they can come out and tell you that the majority of these things are bots, they're AI, or they're fucking Indians over there acting like black people or some shit like that. And even though you know it, you can still find yourself slipping into engaging with it.
Right. Shit, I've done it. I've fallen into prey with this shit, man. I've fallen into the clutches of this shit a few times, man. And that's why I used to get so frustrated with some of the how do I say this? The duplicitous individuals that we know of. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go into too much depth. You know who I'm talking about, and a few other people.
Yeah.
I would get frustrated with these type of people because I'm like, you don't see this shit, but I have to realize me interacting with them is IIA, limited hangout, animal farm, as you put it. So
That and something like when I was listening to your show the other day, like you were kind of pushing the points of, and I'm taking away from this. I'm just giving my
no, you
observation.
good. Yeah.
You were pushing the points of like agents and this person's a provocateur and this and that. I think these people are just idiots, useful idiots. You feel me? And it's easy to corral them and get them to do whatever the AI wants them to do, or whatever the small hat or whoever wants them to do it. You know?
Right. No, that makes sense. That's something we got to consider too. That's something I got to consider. They might not be a direct agent. They might just be a quote unquote agent of chaos, where their mind is so fucked up. They're like living instruments, like not an Agent Smith, but some akin to that, where they can be activated with some kind of trigger in the society or whatever. Like some stupid shit happens, so they go on Facebook and post, and then they get a big following because the algorithm lets them do it. It's a lot going into it, so I can see what you're saying for sure.
It's like the average person isn't they're so concerned with their outwardly image and their
Right.
outwardly perception from the world that they don't care about their self-image, And if you
Right.
don't care about your self-image, the world is going to build your self-image, And the world
Right.
wants you. If you want to say this like a satanic, demonic world, then the world wants you to be what if we're watching some like demon haunting show or something like that. What does it want you to do? It wants you to degrade and destroy yourself slowly. So even these people who are infiltrated by this thinking, they then want you to degrade and destroy yourself, and they'll do anything. You feel me?
Right. You're right. I think it's tied to because I don't know if you heard of this concept, but there's a concept of a death culture, and I don't want to pin it just on the European, because it's not 100% on him, but he is a avid master of this thing. So Sam Vaknin, who's a Jewish guy, but he makes a lot of sense. He calls out Israel too. But Sam Vaknin is a professor of psychology and a clinical psychologist. He breaks down some of this stuff, this narcissism, this cluster Bism that has overtaken the world. And he mentioned with another psychiatrist, I forgot the gentleman's name, that European Western culture essentially is a death culture, a narcissist culture. It's like a cult where all the people push towards a state of ultimate failure, and they try to drag other people into it because misery loves company. And they broke it down more eloquently than I am. But if you check it out, you'll see how it mirrors what we're going on, or what we're seeing going on in this society, right? People want to suffer, and they want to make other people suffer, which is nonsense because that's antithetical towards animal survival. You know what I'm saying? So why would they be like that? It's because they're not normal. They've been altered. So I hear what you're saying for sure.
Well, with the average person, it's almost like they have the saying ignorance is bliss, but you can also say suffering is bliss, because if you accept that you're in a state of suffering, you have removed responsibility from yourself on a certain level.
Right. Exactly. That victimhood mindset is dangerous because what it does, like a social contagion, it spreads to other people, and then now it drags everybody into the shit. You make bad decisions, and someone else is now affected by your bad decisions because you don't have a purpose. You don't know what you want. All this stuff. You're just a robot NPC minion, and that shit is not cool. So I feel you 100%. I feel the sentiment too. I'll be hearing you go off sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I'm with you. I'm right there with you.
But I'm not even a person who wants to be impressive to people, because I'm constantly questioning myself. I need to correct this negative thinking. The AI has shown me that it's rewarding me for being apathetic. Therefore, I need to be the opposite of apathetic. I need to be hopeful. I need to be full of life. I need to be ready to take on everything. And that really is my natural state. But then we also come to this this thing that we're in. And before I forget my thought, I want to hold on to it. But I do want to welcome Wavy to the show. Welcome, Wavy to the Screeble Show.
Yo, I don't know. I don't know if we're still on the important shit, but I just wanted to say what's up.
Peace.
I don't know if we're on the ignorant shit yet. But
No, we're not ignorant today. I usually mix it all together, but I wanted
Yeah.
to totally not mention weirdos today and people who are living in hell and are living in suicidal states of mind and they need to project themselves onto other. Those people are meaningless to me. These people are live beneath my shoe, and I need to rise above them. And there's no point in really concentrating on these people. I'm going to shit on them every once in a while because I like to, and this might be a negative aspect of myself. If you play with me, I just like to torture you because I know you can do nothing to me. You can't expose me. You can't do anything. I said everything about myself. My whole life is out there. You know my name. Nothing you do matters to me. So that might be a lower level, root chakra level of myself that I just like to torture a motherfucker. You know who I'm talking about because there's not many people I bother online. You know.
Yeah, no, I feel all that, but like, listen, man, I'm trying to get ignorant. So I mean, you know what I mean?
I'm sure we'll get there, and I'm very interested in your ignorance, as you know. As you know, I always am. But let me not lose a thought because Shaka just mentioned, not Shaka, Shango just mentioned something about the European or whatnot, and I wanted to ask you, do you understand like DNA manipulation, CRISPR technology?
Who, me or him?
You.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, there was something that I came across years and years ago that I can't find anymore. But it was two white people sitting around talking about why the white man has these pathologies going on. It's because he's affected by these negative entities which travel on light. They are light beings, and they can infiltrate and manipulate your DNA through light. There's a reason they can't manipulate the indigenous man that much because we have melanin, and your cells are also protected by neuromelanin. This is a fact. If you try to get your DNA manipulated by CRISPR technology, it's way harder to fuck with you because you got neuromelanin, and they have to get around it somehow to manipulate your DNA.
Right.
So they're saying that these light beings, these demons, these negative beings infiltrate the European because they can get into them easier. And this is where I put the onus onto the indigenous man. Because if the indigenous man did create the European, it's your fault. Because we have a natural protection system, which is our melanin. We are in tune for this planet. But if you make a slave class because you want to be lazy and be a tyrant, you feel me? That's what you get. So we created a slave class. They were infiltrated, and now they might seem on some level. I don't like saying this, but like somebody who's more vicious than you and is getting help, they're going to be able to surpass you on a level. You feel me?
Right. No, I think you're 100% right, man. You on the money right there. I mean, it's so hard to hear people broach this topic because they just don't understand the mechanics of it. You broke that shit down well, man. Like, wow. I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's the problem. I call them the evil albos, right? That's what, because Big J, when I went back and forth with him about this indigenous shit with his stupid self, this cat called me an albo. So I ran with that. I said, you know what? Those are the evil albos, right? That created the European in kind of not in the Yakub way, but in a similar type of analogous way. They created the European as a slave class to get another one up on another group of black people. And now we have this problem. Within the past 200 years, the European flipped the script and he took position, saw us fighting each other. He said, fuck it, I'm going to make a break for it. And it succeeded to a degree. And so they installed themselves as the leadership of the world. And we see the state of the world thus far. And I think you're right. Like they have some kind of genetic flaw that allows evil and sickness to creep in. And I think it is tied to the narcissism because I read somewhere that Neanderthals have a propensity for mood disorders. So that's interesting to me. And I would actually carry it further than a mood disorder. I would say a psychological disorder and a complex like cluster B, because a narc really has no soul. So it's easy for a fucking demon, essentially, to come into a narc because the narc doesn't have anything in them. They don't have any internal continence, no sense of self. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy. Yeah.
And they're more likely to invite something in. Like
exactly.
when I come back to the idea of like the indigenous man or black man, whatever you want to call us, being more content even in hell, cooling in hell. Shout out to Rico Reckless. You feel me? why we can handle that shit is because. Let me not say because. Let me just give this example. No matter what niggas are going through, you'll see this across black people for the most part, unless you're like a psycho investor or some shit like that. But you see across black people, like no matter how bad it gets, we're like, yo, I would never choose anything else. If I had to come back and choose, I'm choosing black again.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
That's some profound shit. You feel me? Because when you really look at the condition of the black family, most people have somebody who's been in prison, severe drug addiction. So you feel me? We're going through hell on so many levels, but we still choose this shit.
Right. I agree. There's some kind of biological mechanism, genetic DNA memory that just keeps us on task at a certain level. Now, I will say this. I'm seeing, especially with some of the admixture, and I know, people feel different ways about it, but I'm seeing a degrading in our black people. I'm talking about all black people, not just FBA or whatever. I'm seeing a degrading in us where we're starting to turn into the Eurasian. And I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to see it, as you know, with certain people that we know that do certain bad things that we know they've done in the past few years. And I'm not going to name the names. We all know what I'm talking about. People like that and others, that's the Eurasian mindset in a black body. That's the problem. I don't like that. That's why I went in on dude and other people, because I'm like, we cannot allow this to spread further than it has. It's a cancer and we got to cut it out. So.
Yeah, and I push the idea on the show many times that people try to make it deeper than it is, when I really feel the root of this is the things that people take for granted, meaning letting them degrade our arts. And so I forgot what that quote was, but it's like, you build your world and then your world build you. If you look at old world structures, how it was art and science and math, down from the stair on the step to the door handle, everything is fucking Fibonacci'd out. You feel me? Going to the next level. So when you're living in these opulent surroundings, just like Moorish structures, all that opulence makes you more intelligent. It rises you up. You feel me? But now we're living in these buildings with these right angles everywhere. This corny shit. Everything's cookie cutter. It makes your thinking cookie cutter.
Right. Exactly. Then don't get us started about the food and the rest of the things they put in there that just dumb you down. The air, they spraying shit.
Exactly. It's a constant war on you. Here's the thing. I think Wavy's been around. He's heard me make this point before, and I really need to take the time to put this full presentation together one day about the degradation of black music and how it's connected to everything, and how we were healing each other. And Bobby Hemmett and people like Hasir have talked about it. How when we got into a room together and we're playing records and we're feeling that real vibration and we're moving and our auras are expanding and affecting each other, we're healing in that room. We're bonding in that room. We're doing. Black people don't chill no more. They got us so controlled in the mind that you'll be like, damn, I don't like being when you're thinking about it, because your thoughts aren't yours. There's some Jesse Peterson shit. You're like, damn, I don't want to be around these niggas, right? But then when you get to the family reunion, you're like, I never felt this good before. What the fuck? You feel me?
Right.
And the forgiveness is natural. And unless it's something egregious, you know what I'm saying? Like some PDS type shit, which I never dealt with. But I'm saying everything else just melts away and you become into this unit again very easily. So they have to keep your mind occupied all the time with the nonsense.
Right. I would
wait. If I could just say one thing about that, because I'm letting you guys cook. But I was gonna say I think that there's a global. Okay, in my mind, I mean, the way I research things, there is a effort to dismantle the black community through the through dismantling of the literally through the black community, through the black fellowship. You know what I mean? So I think that there is something to that.
Our coming together brings others together. You feel me? Our coming like
they don't want to like Bob Marley like Bob. I hate to say it, but like the way that Bob Marley described it, they don't want to see us unite. They just want to see us fussing and fighting. You know what I mean? Top ranking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real. That's real shit. I think a good thing to check out on that note is the documentary by Adam Curtis from 2016 called Hypernormalization. And it shows how they keep you in a constant state of destabilized perception. So you're constantly warring with self and other people, and it goes nowhere because you're screaming essentially in the void. You know what I'm saying? And you're flailing your arms like Trey in the movie, and you can't do shit because you're not putting it in the proper context or in the proper place. Your energy and your effort is not going in the proper place for a remedy. You know, it's going to some nonsense. So I think y'all are right, 100%.
And
I think Yuri Bezmenov called it demoralization.
fact, Yuri Bezmenov, yep. And I always bring it back to simplistic things like black art, music, painting, art, dance. If you look, I'm not even that old, but if you look when I was a child, I remember there was a time where the white man wasn't even attempting to rap, and he just looked at niggas dance and be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, how do you do that?" They're being amazed by you, and this all goes together with the malevolent AI that we might be in the simulacra that cannot catch up to the light or the chaos that's emanating, infinite chaos and infinite order out of the so-called black man. And what did they have to do? They tried their best to rise up to our level to do what we're doing. Because if you look into the study of quantum mechanics, one of the highest levels of flow state is freestyling. And I saw this study before, and they keep it suppressed. They don't talk about it, how you're living outside of time when you're truly freestyling. You feel me?
Right. Bro, you ain't lying, man, because when I be fucking freestyling, I feel like I'm fucking floating through space, man. You right, man. God damn, I didn't even know that shit. That's crazy.
Yes. Because you know why? Because you're living in, if you actually can do it, you feel me? You're living in the present, the past, and the future because you're referencing what you said. You're saying something right now, and you're thinking about what you're going to say.
Wow.
And it goes beyond just the entertainment of rapping. When we're chopping it up like this and nobody has an agenda, this is freestyling. That's why That's why epiphany can come out of this.
You're right. The building. Yeah, you're right, man. That's real shit. I didn't even think about it like that. That's real shit. Yeah.
Now look at it. The AI cannot rise up to the level of the nigga, so it brings you down. That's why the dancing went from when you eat. Okay, the white man back in the days, like the early '90s, on some Family Matters type shit, would be like, "How the fuck do you do that? Wow, you're incredible." That's why white people did their thing. We did our thing, and they could never rise to the level. So what did they have to do? The dancing went from, and if you went to some Soul Train shit or saw some niggas dancing or pop locking or break dancing, you'd be like, because I've done all that. And they'd be like, "How did you do that?" I don't even know how I did it in the moment. That shit just came out the ethers and I did it because it felt right. You feel me? They had to degrade the music and the dance down to TikTok level. That's why everything is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why all these dances are like, boom. Even the little kid, even the black youth, the dances they do, getting sturdy and all that shit. That shit is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's easy to mimic. You feel me?
Right. They lower the frequency for real. I think Dewan B mentions this shit about music and frequency. You're right.
There's no more there's no more skanking. You feel me?
Right.
I'm not even trying to be funny.
Don't pass over that. Cause I know you African and shit. What is skanking?
No, whoa. That's a John Rock thing. Don't play with me like that, bro. That's a John Rock thing. Don't play with me like that, bro. What? You know what skanking is? Disagreeable. I know you're half Jamaican. You know what skanking is?
Nigga, I'm
you skanking. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. I'm American, bro. Skanking was a Rasta a reggae dance move. It was really I guess you can call it a dance move, but it was really like a formation of reggae artists basically strumming their instruments in the same formation called skanking, which is that downstroke. I mean, I don't know if you're in the music theory, but like the dun, 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 like I don't know how to describe it. Basically, it's basically the reggae movement that was called race music, I guess, back in the day. But it was basically reggae music. The dance you would make to reggae music, which is what they call roots music, that was basically about rebelling against European colonization in the Caribbean.
Yo, I never knew that this shit had a name. Feel me? I've been all over Jamaica.
Seriously? Oh my God, bro! You don't know what?
I thought they were doing a Jamaican two-step.
bro. How many Trini and we know that? Come on, bro. Don't play.
Oh,
Trinity are Jamaican are different people, dog. You are half an Indian, dog. You feel me?
Bro. Don't. Yeah,
he's
come
Might
gonna
on,
be, you might
chill
bro.
be a
out.
Muslim.
He said, "Chill out. Don't call me no Indian." Yeah.
Disagreeable's
Nah.
half tether. He doesn't want to admit it, but he's half
Oh.
tether.
Oh.
And honestly, like
Mm.
that's a beautiful thing to think about. Like the black diaspora is so versatile and distinct that like we have so much culture that we don't embrace,
Right.
but we should embrace. You know what I mean?
Right.
And honestly, like I was thinking about this earlier. It's funny because like I was thinking about this earlier, but like I was thinking like, yo, I wish a black man from Memphis and a Nigerian and a Trini or a Jamaican could all link up off the like almost in the same way like a Mexican, a Dominican, and a Puerto Rican can like, oh, tú hablas español? Sí, sí, papi. Like I wish we could be like that as black people. Like we just link up off of one unifying factor, like how the Hispanics can unify over a language. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah,
yeah, see, español, español, habla, yeah. Like, I
but
wish black people could be like that.
they were designed to be that way. Just because we've been seeing them speaking Spanish so long, you don't realize that that's European language. And some crackers in Europe.
Okay, yeah, but that's not the point. Yeah, I get, it's a European language, but I'm saying like, I wish black people could unite off of a unifying factor that goes above cultural, geographical boundaries. Like an FBA, I wish an FBA nigga, and like an African nigga and a Caribbean a nigga can be like, oh, there's a unifying factor between us that can unify us the way that a Dominican, a Mexican, and a Puerto Rican can be like, oh, tú español, tú hablas español, sí, like you know what I mean? Like I wish we could be like that.
Well, I think we can if we all treat each other as equal business partners. I think that's been the major issue is that, there's some of an exploitative energy coming from different sides of the so-called diaspora. And I think if we treat each other like, okay, I'm going to do business with him and treat him fairly and give him a fair price, and we build it from there instead of more of a fantastical thing, more of a practical thing, I think then you'll get that type of thing popping up, you know what I'm saying? Where everybody works together because we all got mutual interests now, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm invested.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. I just because I grew up with Africans, Caribbeans, and FBAs in my family, like literally, like in my family. So I've seen it work. I've seen it be possible. And granted, like we crack little jokes, and black people, we have a lot of charisma, and we're very energetic, and we are very observant. But if we put that aside, it's like the funny, like the you're that, and you're this, and you're that, like the funny stuff aside, I think we could do what the Hispanics do, or the like for example, right? Like I lurk a lot of the white supremacist spaces just because I find it interesting. Like the European white supremacists and the American white supremacists, they agree on all the same. They have a slogan called "White Pride Worldwide," and I know it's kind of like funny to hear that from a black person, but like I honestly I respect that to a degree because it's like they're not differentiating themselves. It's like okay, the Canadian white supremacists, the American white supremacists, the European white supremacists, and the Australian white supremacists, they all agree on the same thing. Like yo, it's white pride worldwide. I want black people to be on that same type of tip because we don't have the luxury to differentiate ourselves the way that we do.
The reason why I don't respect it is because they're connecting on being pathetic and inadequate and performative supremacy.
No, I know, I get that. No, but I get what you're saying. I get that, but it's like at the same time, it's like there is a unification that I think is important as black people to acknowledge. Like, okay, that white supremacist, no matter where he's at, he's doing what he's doing for his race. It's not like it doesn't stop at nationality or geography. It's
it does.
race
I
first.
think it does. They're being performative for you. White people are vicious to each other for stupid reasons, like fucking mice in a cage. You feel me? In reality, they might talk online like they're together, but in reality, they're against each other. And one thing I want to say about unification before I forget is I like the position that I'm in. I think it might be a sign of the times and what's necessary. Here, let me just lay this out real quick. For one, if you're a Black American and you haven't done deep research and you think you have an understanding of the truth, let's say you haven't done that, all you know is chaos. When you're from a perspective of pure chaos, that means I'm not with you, I'm not with nobody, and I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking and observing. You feel me? I don't have a thing in my back of my head trying to give me confirmation bias. That's why I like being half Jamaican and half American. Because when niggas are arguing online, for me, for fun, I'm gonna make both sides feel stupid. I'm gonna argue American one day and I'm gonna argue Jamaican next day. You feel me? Just
bro, but we're not even no pass on this, bro. Yeah, okay, bro. The thing, because I know we've had like me and you disagree, but we've had our tether versus I guess FBA conversations.
Yeah, you know I don't like you because you're African.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I'm saying like I think as Black people, we're not in the position to be differentiating ourselves as much as we do, and I get it, right? Like, and I again, like I know it's like the Chinese and the Arabs and the Indians, they're going into the Caribbean, they're going into Africa. Obviously the white man, the small hat, and the Hispanic, they're taking over the Americas. As Black people, we have to unify under something. As people with wide noses and big lips and big hips, and we like to dance, like we have to unify under something, so that way we can do something about the people who are slowly colonizing us again on all global fronts. You get what I'm trying to say?
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I want to hear what Shango has to say about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I refer to the Booker T model of pragmatism in business. If we all get together when it comes to dealing with the Eurasian, I understand that completely. And to Disagreeable's point, the white tees do fight each other, but they set aside their differences at certain intervals, publicly at least, and sometimes privately, when it comes to dealing with other races or racial groups. So I could follow a similar model. You know what I'm saying? When we're dealing with a Eurasian supremacist, okay, we can link up because we're Black, you know, but we don't have to remove our own ethnic group. That's the key part that I don't like about Pan-African theories and all the rest. They deracinate and de-ethnify individual groups. No, we can be, these things are not mutually exclusive. I can be an FBA, you could be Trini, he can be whatever, get from the Gambia, and we could all get together and work on a racial tip, but also still be who we are at the end of the day. We don't need to meld into one big nigga. That's not
I understand that. I understand that, but I'm saying like we have to unify. Like I think there's the way I look at the world as it is, as Black people, we're being bitched out on every level, on every continent, and every aspect of the diaspora. Under the Caribbean, the Indians and the Chinese are buying out property. I know this for a fact. In the West Indies, the Chinese and the Indians are doing their thing. In America, there's the Hispanics, and I guess you could say the white man in the small hat, whatever. In Africa and on the continent, there's the Arab and the Chinese doing their thing on the continent. As Black people, I just feel like instead of having these I call it nigga wars, as far as like oh yeah, like you're this and you're that and you're this, we're all Black, but we're differentiating ourselves. Like I feel like there's a certain point where we have to be like, okay, as the Negro phenotype, as far as Black skin, kinky hair, big lips, big nose, dancing, like we have to unite under something, because universally there are other people who don't look like us who are taking over and fucking us over in certain parts and in every aspect of the world. And we don't have the time to be, yo, you're this and you're that, and I'm this and you're that type shit. You know what I mean?
Let me add something. When it comes to the macro sphere of time, there's a couple things going on. How do I say this? The black man or the indigenous man innately knows that your lifetime is a blink of an eye, and the things that they want you to fight over don't matter. Your self-development matters. Even if we don't really know this consciously anymore, it's still within us, you know? And another thing, I don't really know what's going on everywhere, and I'm not going to assume so. But and there's a couple ideas while you're speaking, because they're speaking for a while, so I just wanted to get them out. And the next thing is, there's a reason why the white man can get together so easily, because we've been propagandized to think he's been kicking your ass and all this so long. No, this is recent history. And the black man, even though it looks bad now, we've never been conquered like the cracker. They remember dragon wars. They remember niggas pimping your bitches and skinning niggas just for. They remember the worst of the worst. Black people did bad things to them. You feel me? And they remember this collectively, even if it's in their epigenetics. So they're gonna come together because they need to. Because when it comes to some real shit, we're a monster. And there's a reason why they don't do full all outright war on us. Because Bobby Hemmett used to say natural mechanisms will come online. And you could say whatever, you could say that in some magical spiritual way, or you could say just in some intelligence way and coming together way. You understand what I'm saying? But my personal view of it, when I look at this life, this shit don't really matter that much. It doesn't matter that much. Me having the understanding and self-development is what matters the most. So I don't see how I'm going to try to get together and fight a Chinese nigga, because I don't envy a Chinese nigga. I don't envy your homogenous society. I don't envy the way you move, and I don't envy the way you think. And another thing that I feel I have a benefit from is growing up in Miami. I've been in every household from the top. Every European, my good friends are Russian. I've been around the niggas who aren't my friends, the super Russian mafia Jews and shit, oligarchs and shit like that. I've been around Saudi royalty in their house. I've been around every Jew, every different type of South American family, every Caribbean family. I've been in all these houses, and they're all fucked up. They just don't have the propaganda that's being pushed out about niggas. So I don't envy these people at all. So right. I won't keep going on from there. I'll let one of you guys get it.
Right. No, I get that for sure. I mean, that makes sense. That's kind of how I see it too. You know, because this is the thing, man. The Eurasian has only come up for the past 250 years, maybe 3, give or take. He's on his way out. You see how the incel side and the passport on the white side, they can't even breed. So it's like that shit is almost done. I'm not even tripping on that. The thing is, though, we got to figure out how the fuck we gonna get along and do business when they're dead. You know what I'm saying? Or will a mulatto class rise up from them that thinks just like them? Whatever, any possibility. The AI, they could become AI people, I don't know. But we have to think about that type of shit. I'm not as worried about, the Zionists are going to take over the black community. If niggas stick to family culture and code, we'll be all right. And if everybody in their homeland does that and builds up their people in their area, then we can make network nodes and map out things, right? But first it starts in the home, and then before that it starts in the cell. So if I'm not going to fix my own house, I can't expect to run over there and try to fix Johnny's house, because Johnny's fucked up and I'm fucked up. I need to be in a better position before I try to help Johnny, because I'm going to bring my baggage to Johnny. You know what I'm saying? So I get the point, for sure. But I think we need to temper ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Practicality above everything else, in my opinion, for anything. I'm not saying it's not a good idea. It is. But, you know.
In my opinion, like I said earlier, and I know sometimes it might be oversimplistic, because I feel like it's futile. It doesn't make it. Sometimes I feel like it's a waste of time getting too deep with it. But
right.
Like I said earlier, let's say the white man did disappear. I feel like it would be just like the family reunion. All of us that have all this beef would be like, oh, this pressure's not on us anymore. These people aren't like giving us propaganda 24 hours a day. We're not dealing with having to be in a warlike state where we're in nutrition wars, schooling, mental wars. Everything is a level of war on the indigenous man or the black man on the earth or whatever. And we
Right.
shouldn't unite on a level, because when I travel around, I've been in South America and all that. And other countries try to act like, no, we're fine over here. It's not racism. It's just we have classism. That's bullshit. They treat niggas in Colombia. They treat niggas in Colombia just like niggas over here.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So I feel like you're dealing with a global issue. And before I go on, let me welcome Magical Family to the show. Your mic working?
Yo, thank you for having me, bro. Nice to see everybody.
Peace, peace.
Are you in the United States, or are you still overseas?
I am in Italy right now. Last day in Italy. And then I'm flying into Czechia tomorrow. I'm gonna be in Prague for a few days.
Do they hate niggas over there too?
Oh, it's weird, bro. It's disingenuous. Had some great interactions though.
And
It's
you're a
been
high
really
level.
fun.
You're a high level nigga. Let me not insult you. This is
Right.
the homie I was talking about earlier. You feel me? He's one of the few people who knows like how I was really moving, what my like things I've done in my life and shit like that. And I see what he's done. So I'm assuming you're moving around in those circles over there. Or are you just on your vacation shit right now?
Like a combo. I mean, I've been doing my thing, and we've been met with hospitality in certain spaces because of who we are and what we can do. But at the end of the day, like when I'm just walking the street, I see like kind of the disingenuous vibes in passing. You know what I mean?
Does the pressure feel less or more?
Oh, it's less pressure for sure.
So
It
you're
depends on
saying
where
that
you are though, on the street. But like in certain spaces, yeah, it's a little more pressure. But like I don't give a fuck about that.
yeah, I know it's not bothering you, but you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
because it's hard for me to
it's there though.
define it exactly, but it's just like
It's there.
the heaviness.
It's there. It's like a disingenuous heaviness. And then like once they figure out like what you got going on, they're like, oh, now they want to bring out the fucking wine and the fucking, all the shit. But it's like, you wouldn't be doing this shit if I wasn't.
Do they
Fuck y'all.
seem extra angry? Like I'm like when I'm telling you, and that's why I'm not gonna get too deep in this, but people who've been around the show, Wavy, Magical Family knows this. How I always try to not always try, but I've always speak about how I try to mind my own fucking business, and people pull me into things. It's just being innocent. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we known each other for a long time. Hello, I mean Magical Family. Did you know me back when were we like I guess we known each other musically mad long, but guess you didn't really know me back when I was like dealing with that white stripper bitch from Tootsie's and shit. Like
No.
you never saw me with the blonde girl.
No.
So I was with the blonde, like I was with this like blonde girl, and we just clicked. She was cool and shit. To me, I'm not attracted to blonde women, blonde hair, blue eyed women like that. So to me, we were just kicking it, and I wasn't super too much up or out. You're just like somebody I'm kicking it with, and I never understood what that was until I was out with her eating on I think we were some stupid shit like TGI Fridays, and I looked around and the white niggas were upset. I could tell in their face like they were mad. You feel me? Mad. So do you get that same feeling out there? Like if you're kicking it, because I know who you are. I know the bitches is on you. So when you're over in your little spots, or if you went to some lounges or whatever, how was the energy been?
I'm gonna be real with you, bro. The Italian dudes I've bumped into, they're cool as fuck. They low key cooler than the chicks. Pause. They cool. The Italian dudes, they cool. And they love to see me, doing my thing.
Interesting.
They coming up like, oh, you should move here. They see me in the street. They see me before. They stop me like, oh shit. But they kind of like how I'm dressed and shit. So it's a whole thing.
Interesting. I'm gonna let y'all get it. Just let me get the chat real quick. Masuli addict. You feel me? Shout out to Masuli too. I need to get some Masuli. Here in the UK, there is a Black diaspora community from all over. Facts. It's just like not Jamaica. I got family over there. Masuli says that's essentially what the EU is for Europeans. Can you clarify this right here so maybe we can expound on it? But go ahead, you guys got it if you want to say something.
What's good, Wavy?
I'll just yeah. What's good, Halo? How you doing, man?
Feeling great, bro. Nice to see you.
You living so Italian, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro, it's cool for real. But I'm kind of ready to go, bro. I'm about to be in Prague, and then I'm going to Latvia, then I'm going to Estonia, and I'm heading back to the
Oh
States.
shit. You going to the Baltics, right? That's
Yeah, I'm
what
gonna
they
be in
call
the
the Baltics.
Baltics and shit. Yeah, exactly.
That
About to be
they
out
like
there.
that to me, I mean, salute to what you're doing. For me, I don't know, like I don't like to be around. I want to be in a place where there's no other black people. I'm not saying that those places don't have other black people. I'm sure they do, but like, and maybe this is me just being like a goofy, but like I feel like when like I I feel comfortable. Okay, even though I'm on the premises that most black people kind of are like they don't like fuck with each other. I do feel comfortable knowing that there's other black people in the vicinity. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I like if I couldn't go anywhere knowing that there's no I couldn't go to another country knowing that there's very little black people. I need like some you know what I mean? Like I couldn't go to like
Nah, nah,
Finland
nah,
Finland knowing that like okay in Finland there's like a 0.000 black population. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's just
bro.
me.
Nah, bro. I went to
You're
Finland,
more
right?
well
I went
traveled.
to
Go ahead,
Finland.
speak.
I went to Finland, right, bro? Finland is fire, bro. Because they really fucked with me. They were like showing me hospitality. They were really excited, to hang. I'm like hanging out in the sauna all day. In Finland, they're used to like hanging out in the sauna. You know, and everybody just having a good time, talking shit. They're closed off outside of that kind of setting, but like when you get into like their communal settings, it's gonna be love. But
Mm.
like, aren't you like
It's
also
funny how
African? Aren't you an African, bro?
I randomly
You-
mentioned a European country and you just like already was there. Like I literally said Finland off the top of my I couldn't because I didn't even think of I didn't even purposely say Finland on some other show. I'm just like, yo, let me think of a random country, Finland. And
Nah,
then you were
bro,
like, yo,
Finland.
I was in Finland chilling. I was eating fucking reindeer meat and I saw the Aurora Borealis and shit like that. I saw
Yeah, I was in
Santa Claus
Helsinki.
and all that shit.
Yo, let me add
Helsinki,
Helsinki, man.
Svord in Vegan and shit.
yo, let
Yeah,
me
shit
add this.
straight, bro.
This might be ignorance wavy, but how you said you'd be more comfortable around where there's black people around.
Mm.
I this could be ignorance. I feel like I'd be mad uncomfortable in Africa.
Right, I saw screen that, man. I'm like, wait, ain't you African for real, for real?
I'm half African. My dad's from Africa. My dad's African.
Yeah,
But
you
I've never been
African,
to
bro.
Africa. Yeah, yeah. I mean, but I'm also half Trini, and I was raised in America with FBA Americans in my family. So for me, I've always, it's weird because like when I would hear like this, what I like to call I call it nigga wars. But it's really a diaspora disagree. It's really diaspora disagreements. But like when I would hear like, "Oh yeah, I'm FBA, bro. You're African. I'm African, bro. You're Caribbean. I'm Caribbean, bro." Like for me, I was always kind of like, "Well, aren't we all black?" But that was coming from my upbringing because my mom's side is Trinidadian, my dad's side is Sierra Leonean, and I have FBA married on my mom's side, the Trinidadian side. So I never really like I guess I never really I saw the difference, but I always saw the unity. So whenever I would hear like black people argue about like ethnicity or nationality, I was always kind of like, well, aren't we all the same? Not knowing that not everybody has the background that I come from, where I had FBA from the South, and then I had Trinis, and then I had Sierra Leoneans and stuff like that. So um I guess to say like I'm very like spoiled not spoiled but like I'm very naive in that sense that like oh yeah like we're all black we should all get together knowing that not knowing that like that's like my family experience is not the overall experience of the diaspora which is unfortunate because excuse me I feel like as a diaspora like we should be more united because everybody hates black people but everybody loves black people, you know what I mean?
Well, let me add real quick because when it comes to being united off of your hue or whatever, and I'm not denying that. Excuse me. I'm not denying that white people will coalesce when it's needed to go against niggas. You feel me? But from coming up in Miami and being in the Russian spa, the Russian Turkish spa and shit like that, maybe it might be maybe you know what? it might be just Russians specifically because I'm very close with a lot of Russians, and it's like they're like the niggas of Europeans. You feel me? They fuck with me harder than they fuck with white people, and you'll see
Facts.
it.
The Slavs are niggas for real. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe I could have a skewed idea of what I'm looking at. You feel me? Like I'm not sure exactly, but I just know like it gets different because here's the thing: when in America, we're so segregated, except for certain spots in the country, that you don't get to see in front of your eyes that these people aren't really together how you think they are. You don't get to see them beef. You feel me? Like when you're in middle America, it's just white and black. Unless you're in a major city, you're not really seeing these different types of people and how they express themselves, how they carry themselves. And if you're not really in their households, you don't get to see them talk shit about each other. So you just think they're all together and they're not like niggas. Like everybody's like, oh, the nigga black people can't get together. We're just this and we're just that. No, that's a human condition, man.
Oh no, yeah, facts. Back in the day when I was living with my dad, he lived in a kind of a mixed immigrant neighborhood, but we had Polish neighbors, and I used to be cool with the Polish kids and stuff like that grew up in the poor side of the Jersey Shore and stuff like that. And like they used to tell me like, yeah, like we don't really fuck with the other European immigrants of our culture in the same way that like for example like they would say like, oh, like how like the Mexicans and the Dominicans and the Puerto Ricans, that's how they would describe it, because we you know, I lived in a very multicultural area. But like I get it, like there's interfighting within every race and every I guess you could call it phenotype. I don't know if that's the right word. I just learned that word recently, phenotype. But the thing is with me is that like as black people, and I love black people, and I grew up around different types of black people. I grew up around the diaspora enough to know that like, yo, like we are not in a position as black people worldwide to be fighting amongst each other and differentiating ourselves with each other. Like white people, they, however way they did it, they have, let's say, conquered the modern world. However way they did it, they did it.
Let me I don't want to cut you off. I don't want to cut you off. It's only take 1 second, but answer this while you're speaking. What is getting together with each other going to do besides make us better capitalists?
I guess what I'm trying to say is like I guess to say like somewhat of a Pan-African level, which I am. I guess you can say I am a Pan-Africanist, because I do believe that like the Negro man or the Negro person is the most targeted person on the planet, regardless of what continent. But I would say that like getting together is my way of saying like, okay, like we again, like wide nose, big lips, big hips, like we're all kind of in that same boat. We're celebrated amongst other races, but we're also hated in a way that like, okay, these people know that we're not like them and they're not like us, but at the same time, they persecute us when they come to our place, our lands, or when they are in proximity of us. Does that make any sense? Like the Chinese man, I know for a fact in Trinidad, the Indians and the Chinese people, they come there and they have a lot of corporate backing from where they're from and from certain things where they can buy up land. The same way that the Hispanics come through in America, they have a lot of backing from however way they get it, to where they could buy up whole neighborhoods in LA or whole neighborhoods in New York.
Let me add some data. For one, two things I want to say. For one, the government is helping them. Don't think you just come out here. Oh, I came here broke. I came here with
no. Of course. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that they're doing it on their own. No, there's definitely a systematic assistance.
And let me add the second point. Besides not coming here and do it on their own, they did have assistance of the government, and there's a reason why you really don't see. You're seeing them more now because the simulacra, the negative AI, is destroying all communities. You might see some homeless Asian people now, but the reason you really don't see them is because their culture they have a culture of saving face. They don't want to be embarrassed. It's not about them doing better than you. They're going to do their best to hide it. You feel me? That's really the only difference.
I agree. I don't think I've ever said like in this conversation like, oh, they're doing better. I mean, I may have kind of like sounded like that, but like what I get, no, I get, bro. I had a Korean nigga, sidebar, but 2-3 weeks ago, I had a random Korean nigga in the gas station place that I go to. He was telling like he was bugging out on the white people, and I came in and I was drying my hands where he was at, yelling at white people, talking about some, yeah, I believe in Black Jesus, bro. He like walked up to me and was like, yeah, bro, the black man, the yellow man, we're the same. It was the bizarrest thing, but I, I said to say like I get that like disenfranchised minority groups in the West are always going to have um a sense of unity because of the marginalization. I get that. I just feel like on a global scale, as Black people, with this, regardless of our culture, our regardless of the diaspora, we are all in the same boat. I walk into an Asian store, they're looking at me no different than they look at any other Black person. I walk into the Spanish store, they look at me like, oh, one of them. I at my job, when I see people, when people come in of other ethnicities, they look at me like, oh, great, one of them. Like, I don't. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, as Black people, like, yeah, we're different. We have different cultures, but it's not like we're not in a position to be where we could be differentiating ourselves um in that way, because other races are looking at us like, oh, one of these guys, one of them. Like
Hold on,
Black
Eddie.
people
Check
have
this
a
out.
terrible.
Wait,
Black people have.
check this out.
Wait. If I could,
Check
if I could just say, if I could just leave this one mark. What I hate about the Black celebrity and the Black collective image is that we're not looked at as individuals. We're not looked at as, oh, this is a that, this is a them, this is that. No, as Black people, we're looked at, especially as Black men, we're looked at no matter where we're at. We're in a Western society or a Western government. We're looked at the same. One of them. Oh, it's one of those guys. One of those, like, I see it. I hear it. I don't look any different. Yeah, I'm a tether. Oh, yeah, I'm a tether. I'm not a. They're not like us. When the Asian man, the Hispanic man, or the white man, or the Chinese man, when they look at me, they don't look at me as, oh, you're different. No, look at me as another Black nigga. It's not like on some, oh, no, you're one of them, or you're not one of them. They look at me as like, oh yeah, you're one of them.
I disagree, but I'll let Halo go.
I disagree because I'm telling them right now, like when I'm out here, yes, on the surface, I can tell that there is an assumption being made. But I'll tell you this, baby, as soon as I open my mouth, the vibes change. As soon as they recognize that I'm an American, there's a whole nother vibe that comes over the room.
Okay, that's what's up. The American passport, the American energy, the American spirit, accent. I understand. I don't travel that much, but I have family that travel. They tell me, yo, when they hear that American Black energy swag, yeah, they treat you different, of course. But I'm just saying on a global level, as Black people, we're not in like. I don't see too much of a difference in our situation, like in the Caribbean and in North America, or in I guess Europe, and even in Africa. As Black people, we're persecuted the same way. We're persecuted in the same way, and from what I've observed and what I've experienced and what I have understanding, we're persecuted the same way. Yeah, okay, yeah, the Americanism, yeah, but like
But
I
before
don't
I
think
go,
globally, I don't think Black people are. I just don't think that we're in a position to be differentiating ourselves when we have a global threat. I'm sure we could all agree that there's a global threat to some degree.
before I speak, I want to see if Shango wants to add to the conversation.
I mean, I'm more in the middle. I understand this point about the global realities of the European and the Asian dealing with Black people or melanated people. But like I said, my thing is I don't want to become one big nigga just to save all niggas. You understand what I'm saying? That's my thing. I want to still keep my culture, practice my own local regional politics, but I can also expand that on a need basis, case by case thing, to facilitate a more Pan-African style thing. I don't have an issue with that. It's just that when we see Pan-Africanism being applied in real life, 9 times out of 10 is Black Americans or even Western Black people, which include the Caribbeans, doing the heavy lifting. You see a lot of that. And it's like, we can't do that no more because it doesn't work. So, we can't say, the European is going to defeat us when most Negroes around the world are already defeated. You know what I'm saying? They're already mentally defeated and colonized. So, you ain't missing nothing.
All right, are you finished?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let me get these chats real quick, then I'm gonna let Halo go. Masuli Addict says, someone made the point about Pan-African keeping unique identity but still working together. I guess you're saying that's what's going on in the UK. Aaron's also in the UK, so I don't know if he could speak on that. But for me, I see I'm in the UK rapping shit, because I'm Jamaican and shit, and I know that the Jamaican gangs, the 6-7 and all that, they're beefing with them niggas over there, like they're beefing with other Black people, and they have a distinction between each other. So maybe you could correct me if I'm just seeing that through the music or whatever. We have Aaron. He says, "Yo, good homie right there." Aaron says, "Wavy is talking about simply higher principles of interacting with one another." And before I let Halo get it, I'll say this. Maybe I have a different perspective because I've always felt different than people my whole life. But I don't really envy anybody like that. I don't care how you look at me. I've been around super rich people, and to me, they were like pathetic to me. I could tell that they have an emptiness in them. I don't envy them at all. You feel me? I'm comfortable in myself pretty much everywhere I moved around. I've been in Colombia and Barrio, Antioquia at night, wilding like an idiot. You feel me? But I just felt good. I felt comfortable. You feel me? Like I understand what you're saying from a logical perspective, but my internal, like the light inside of me, it might be arrogance. It might be arrogance. You feel me? I don't like how you kept repeating. They look at us all the same. They look at us. They look at us. I don't give a fuck how anybody looks at me. To be real, like, who are you? And when you really get around these people and you get to speak to them and get the energy off them, like you're not above me. You feel me? And I'll go back to the point I made earlier. Nothing will make me want to not be who I am right now. No, the craziness that's going on in my family, all that shit does not matter. I don't want to. The Chinaman and the Indian, they're all connected and shit. I would never want to be a Chinese nigga in my life. The fuck? I'll be a Chinese nigga. That's insane. But I'm not gonna go too far. I don't want to talk too much. I'm gonna let Halo get it. Then anybody else who wants to talk can go ahead.
I just want to say I don't want to make any overgeneralizations, but my experience growing up as a Black American in America, um, I went to high school with like first generation African Americans, African parents, and they didn't treat us the same. They didn't see us as African. They did not even let some of the other Black kids in the neighborhood even come in their house, let alone go upstairs, shit like that. It was weird. And as I've been in Europe, like I see African people walking around saying they Black when it's convenient. And then, when it's not convenient to be Black, quote unquote, now they want to African up. Now they're real Africans, right? So what does it mean to be a real African, you know, and all this stuff? So I'm all for world peace, everybody living together and everything, but I recognize that I'm not considered an African and I'm not trying to be.
If you just looked into like some of these stories online about people who actually took their resources and tried to go build in Africa, and the Africans treating them like shit and like straight up poisoning in them, you feel like doing crazy shit to them, then I don't even want to say too much. I don't want to say too much. You can go ahead and go.
Yeah,
Me
I
either,
mean,
bro.
again, like maybe I'm a little bit naive and idealistic because I have every bit of the diaspora in my family. I grew up around like in my family alone through marriage and bloodlines. I have FBA, I have Caribbeans, I have Africans, and when I was growing up, like I saw the unity. Like my Trini side had like my Trini uncles married Black Americans back in the day. So they like so I grew up with both Caribbeans and Americans, and then on top of that, my dad's side is African, and they were cool with the Americans and the Caribbeans in my family. I have Jamaicans in my family through marriage. Like I guess what I'm trying to say is like maybe I'm idealistic because I seen it in my own family. Possible, yeah, we crack jokes. Like I remember like my FBA cousins and my Trini cousins and my FBA cousins. Like we all used to crack jokes, but like it wasn't hateful. It wasn't like on some hate. It wasn't like, oh, like they not like us. It was more like, oh yeah, like you jerk chicken eating ass. Oh yeah, your cornbread eating. Yeah, you're whatever. But like it wasn't like it was. I grew up seeing it together, despite all that. Like my family, like my Thanksgivings was lit as fuck. Like lit, like cornbread, fucking jerk chicken, fucking barbecue chicken, fucking mashed potato. Like I grew up seeing like Black unity from the diaspora in my family. So I guess it kind of like makes me a little bit more I guess biased to the idea that like it could be possible.
Unity. You saw family unity. You feel me? And
but it was different cultures though. That's what I'm saying. Like it was different.
Hold on a second. Yeah, go ahead. You saw family unity, and you're also comparing it to these like internet observations. I've never seen no fucking FBA conversation in real life ever. All these people being vicious with each other is internet. That is a result of the negative AI. You feel me? I'm not saying we don't have differences and things that we disagree on, but when it comes to this level of negativity against each other, that is a result of the fucking simulacra that we're in. You feel me? I'm gonna take it to that level when I'm talking about it. But let me get the chat because I want to keep them involved and they are participating. Aaron says, yeah, the question of how they look at us is a question of orientation. When your worldview is centered on yourself, you don't need to worry how others see you, but still higher principles of interaction. And before I forget, also, Wavy, what you're saying about how you're also kind of talking about what I was saying earlier about the family reunion energy. Even in the Black American household, there's a whole bunch of propaganda, negativity, niggas, Black people speak negative about each other all the time or about their own group all the time. But when you get to the family reunion, if you happen to go and not skip it because the propaganda has destroyed your mind and destroyed your family, when you get around the people, it feels good. And even when there's different nationalities around people, that's why I say there's a plus for me coming up in Miami, because I've been around everybody. I love being in a Trini house. You never had Trini Chinese honey chicken? What the fuck? You feel me? And these people are loving to you. I haven't really been in that many like African households, but maybe the African is a hater, dog. But you can let me know. You said you had the whole connection, and you tell me in your family you saw no difference in how people interact with each other. Because I noticed Jamaicans are very welcoming. You feel me? I tell anybody, I tell a white nigga, you want to feel like a king, go to Jamaica, man. Niggas are kissing your ass. And I feel like it's the same thing in Africa. And that all comes from the propaganda. You feel me? I think you're letting the propaganda that benefits them pop positively because they're in control of the projection screen is the same one that benefits you negatively. But no matter if it's positive or it's negative, it's still an illusion. You feel me? On some Bruce Lee shit. Once you break the illusion, you break the enemy. You feel me?
Absolutely. And the point I was trying to make is that I've seen diaspora unity with firsthand to know that it's possible. It's not like it's like this thing where it's like, okay, you guys are over here, you guys are over here, let's get over here. And I know it's not like that all the time. I know that Black people can unite despite our differences in nationality. I've seen it firsthand. I've lived in it. I grew up in it. I guess what I'm really trying to say is that because for me, like I lurk a lot of white supremacist spaces now. I don't know why. I think really because I just want to know who my enemy is. I want to know, like, okay, like is the white guy that I work with, is he a low key white nationalist? I want to be able to kind of not on some paranoia shit, but like, okay, I just like to know. I don't know. I just find it fascinating. Like I like to know the intricacies. But wait. If I can finish on this note, right? But one thing I've noticed about the white, I guess, racist community is that like again, like the American white supremacist and the European white supremacist and the Australian and the Canadian white supremacist, like they have a slogan called "White Pride Worldwide." I want Black people to, and I know it's surface level, and I know it's maybe that's government and CIA, of course, right? But like to a degree, right, on an organic level, like they're like, okay, look, the white man in Europe and the white man in North America, we're the same. I want Black people to be on that same shit. Like, yo, Black pride worldwide is not no different. Like we are on the same team against the same people, same peoples.
You sound like this shit is affecting your self image and your confidence.
No, it's not. No, not at all, bro. Hold on. No, not at all. It's just I think that with Black people right now, from what I observe, right, I see so much potential, and I wanna, and yeah, I grew up kind of Pan African. It's like my dad used to listen to like Bob Marley and Peter Tosh and all that stuff. And he used to tell me like, yo, like no matter where you, like no matter like I forgot who it was, Nasio Fontaine, who is a actual Jamaican reggae artist. He has a lyric that says, "Don't no matter where you're from, or where you're coming from, you are who you are. We are the children of the African nation." Right. So
It's propaganda.
I mean, maybe it is, but what I took from that is that like, yo, like if as Black people, like we are the most targeted on this planet. So why go against each other? That's what I got out of that.
And I'm not gonna speak too long. I'm just gonna say like I know you've been into some of the shit I've been into even before we knew each other, like Bobby and Panic and shit like that, right?
Of course, yeah.
Something they would say that I'm really that sparked some idea in me was just like how do you say it? He said it in a real hood way, but it's just like we're not getting together because we don't supposed to. You feel me? Like that's not the time for this right now. We're doing what we're supposed to do. Like, and it's hard to see because it's on a different level. It's on a spiritual level. You feel me? Might not agree with it, and to me, like, I don't want to feel. Don't think I'm insulting you or like negating your points because I can't on a surface level. And don't take that negative. I'm not against what you're saying. I'm just saying that is deeper. It's deeper than rap, though. It's deeper than what's going on. Like, I don't care about these people are not together. They have no power. If you really want me to stay surface with it, everybody's under the thumb of the same person and they're acting how they act. Nobody has any real power. They think they're above you or they look at you a certain way because the same cracker or small hat or whoever gave them the opportunity to be the guard dog. You feel me? I don't envy the house dog at all. You feel me? I like being the wild man. I like being the wild man. I don't want a better piece of steak, or I don't have to eat the entrails of the pig because I'm in the house with. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I'd rather be in the field with the niggas. Matter of fact, I'd rather go kill everybody in the house or run into the woods. You feel me? And I don't need everybody to do that. I don't need all the niggas to get together to fight the 1%. I need the 1% of good niggas to get with me, and then we can fight the 1%.
I get that. Listen to like I understand that, like, okay, like, yeah, I know I sound like a Pan-Africanist collectivist. Deep down inside, I'm really an individualist, honestly. Like, I feel like it's every man for themselves, unfortunately, at least in America, unfortunately.
Man, you contradicting the hell out of yourself right now.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I acknowledge it. But I'm saying, like, it shouldn't be that way, and it doesn't have to be that way. But I get why it is that way. At the same time, right? Like, I feel as if, as Black people in the West, I'm talking about like in the white man's land in which we are living, we do not have the luxury of, yeah, you're over here, I'm over here, you're over here, you're over here, I'm over here, I'm this, I'm that, you're this and that. Like I think like in our as the Black diaspora, we are just not in a position, like, it's not like like the, I don't know, like the oh, I'm German and you're Dutch. Like, we live on the same continent. It's very prosperous, or was very prosperous. We have the luxury with our wealth that we've stolen from other places and conquered and did all the white man shit. We can be we can divide ourselves because we have enough wealth to where it doesn't matter. I just feel like, I guess my main point is that as Black people, as the Negro phenotype, we just I don't feel like, I feel like we just don't like, yeah, we have to get to a point where we're prosperous as a race. Then we could be like, okay, you guys are over here, we guys are over here, we're over here. You know what I mean?
I don't know. You gotta, like, that's something that you do by from example. You got to build your own family, and then you put those ideals into your family, and then maybe that can spread. But beyond that, thinking about it beyond that is pretty much a waste of time, in my opinion.
I mean, I get it. Like, again, like I just said, unfortunately, in this hyper capitalistic postmodern society, like, it is every man for themselves. And when I mean every man, I mean like you have you and your family, like your immediate family, and then it's fuck everybody else type shit.
I like it like that. I like it like that.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, in a sense, like, yeah, because I don't have to. I agree, because I don't have to worry about a collective, or like I don't have to consider a collective. Like, I think that as we stand in America today, collectivism does not benefit us. And I know I'm contradicting myself in a sense, but like I'm saying, like, in America today, unfortunately, it's led up to that. It shouldn't be that. And again, I am being idealistic, but it shouldn't be that way. But it is that way. But if it is going to be that way, like, I don't know. I mean, again, maybe I'm just being super idealistic. Go ahead.
I like thinking. I like pondering. I like reaching into the chaos field and pulling out new ideas and concepts and building upon concepts. When you're too homogenous, you can't even think freely. When you look at old school, like let's put African tribes for an instance, and everybody goes through the same rites of passage, everybody eats the same food, everybody does the same thing. They're basically moving like a pile of ants. And that's not me like looking down on them. That is what it is. You all think the same, you all move the same, you're in this box. So maybe there's some trade-offs for this shit. There's a trade-off. You're gonna have great connections. You might have somebody to have your back or something like that. But then again, you're gonna have to get into some bullshit and have some bullshit thinking because of these people you're around, because you're not allowed to get outside of that. And fuck being allowed, it's not even possible for you to get outside of that because of how homogenous you are. So maybe that's where we differ. I would not trade anything for my mind. I'm not trading anything. Sure. Feel me? We got to get together, and now I got to think like you, and I got to get in the FOI. I got to wear a suit, and I got to listen to the slick head nigga telling me what to
bean pies and shit.
Yeah, and then, you know why? Because once you start doing stupid shit like that, it gets weird. Next thing you know, a nigga's telling you to be a Scientologist at the same time. Next thing you know, you're going to All Saints Day, and they got a picture of a big cracker up there after they told you for fucking 60 years, don't trust the cracker, he's the devil. You feel me?
Noble Drew and all that shit.
I can't do it. No, Noble Drew, and I'm talking about L. Ron Hubbard, because at the last All Saints, they had the nigga biggest fuck up there talking about Scientology. You got that's the most retarded shit in the world, and niggas are still in the group. That's how fucking mind control they are. You can tell me for goddamn 60 years that the white man is a devil, and then on our biggest day of the year, you can put up a giant picture of L. Ron Hubbard in the middle, and everybody doesn't tear that bitch apart and get out of it.
Let me ask you a question, because you're a Yardi man for real. Okay. What is your opinion on Rastafarianism and Haile Selassie? Being that you are half Jamaican,
it's nonsense.
It's nonsense. All of it nonsense.
Everything has something good or bad in it. But if you want me to just give a broad stroke across it,
yeah, just give me like your opinion on Rastafarianism and Haile Selassie and how that connects.
It's nonsense. There's a right now while we're speaking, the sun's about to come up. There is a 80-year-old nigga in Jamaica in great shape because he eats great. He's smoking the best herb every day. He's up all right now before the sun doing push-ups, getting ready for the war when Selassie tells him to come back to throw hands with somebody. It's retardation. The nigga is not alive. He's not coming back from the fucking Ethiopia to help you. And I think, and for one, that's monarchy. Niggas is looking up to the goddamn king. I don't give a fuck about a king. I hate monarchies. You feel me? That's cracker shit. That's cracker shit. And feel me? And the same crackers talking about we was Vikings, white, all whites, whatever the fuck you were saying. These crackers say like, oh, we all get together around the world, we're all white or whatever. No, you're not, and you're not German engineers. You were under monarchies, and you were fucking peasants and serfs and getting treated like shit. And I've done shows on this breaking down the peasant revolts and shit like that. That's when shit got real. Those are the white people I fuck with. The peasant revolts. when the monarchy and that's what we're going to deal with at some point. The monarchy keeps putting their foot on their neck, keeps putting their foot on your neck just because you're doing a little better until it turns up. That's why I like shit to get worse, because niggas ain't gonna turn up unless it gets worse.
Right, I agree with that for sure.
So this fantasy of like, oh yeah, because that bitch got a fat ass and I got a big nose, let's get together. like no.
That's not what I was saying. By the way, you're oversimplifying what I was saying. That's not what I was saying. I'm gonna mute up real quick.
You know, we're black people, we're entertaining and we're jovial or whatever. You feel me? But I'm just saying, like, I rather and like I said, like I'm into shit that people don't agree with, and the astrological dates and shit like that, and that might be a part of my path. So I'm not saying I'm right. I'm definitely not saying I'm right. I'm saying from my personal perspective, I don't see it as a positive thing to be homogenous and be comfortable. I just don't see it. But if anybody else wants to go ahead.
Oh shit, man. I guess I'll step up. I get it. I get both sides of the argument. I lean more towards disagreeable side, right? You do need variation because that's what brings in innovation. And like I said, these things are not mutually exclusive. We don't have. You can be a Pan-African FBA, for example. These things are not limited to one thing or the other. You know what I'm saying? As long as I don't get overlooked, because let me say it like this: if everybody carries their weight and has mutual trust and respect, I don't have a problem with being on a more Pan-African, even though I don't follow the out of Africa theory, any of that stuff. I understand that global melanated people could hypothetically work together. There was never a time in which it happened. We need to definitely put that on the table. There is no Wakanda. It's never happened. We've always disagreed with each other. But in the face of a threat, quote unquote, if you want to take it from the European or Asian, I'm more like disagreeable. I don't give a fuck, but I understand geopolitically it could become a potential opportunity to get back on top. So I get it. I get that. But like I said, as long as we be pragmatic, that's all that matters. Pragmatism at the forefront. That's all I got.
Let me ask you, Shango, because I know you're into the history and all that.
Right.
What do you think of the theory that the people who are actually on top beyond the bloodline families that they push in our faces through the propaganda, the people actually running shit are niggas?
Now there's a theory out there that the black Europeans still run this shit. I'm not 100% sure. I've heard whisperings of it. I think they do have influence, but I think the majority of their influence was usurped during the 17 and 1800s, because that's when the white folks were rebelling, right? Like the Revolutionary War, the French stuff, all that shit. You see King Charles and the Holy Roman Empire falling through in the 1500s, 1600s. You see King Charles of England, who was black. It's described in primary documents that he was black. His lineage got wiped out by the German Hanover lineage, the modern day, kingship in England. So I think that there are some black Europeans that have embedded themselves, and then some of the pale Europeans, they have mixed blood, right? But I don't think they run the show. And I think this is going to sound crazy. I think there's certain elements of them that are trying to push the delineation movement to destroy their European usurpers, if that makes sense. This is going to sound spooky as hell. So
yeah, can you break that down? Can you say that again?
My bad. Let me break it down. I think there's an element of what I call the evil albos, right? Some of these black European nobility families. I think they're pushing some of the rhetoric that we have and certain things in this world, like FBA, for example, delineation. I think they're pushing that to chip away at the European usurpers that took their place. Because I'm seeing in real life too, the Europeans are fighting each other based off of who's the Ellis Island American and who's the heritage American. I'm seeing a lot of that nowadays, right? Online mostly, but I do see it in real life because I'm in Chicago. So Chicago's been racially segregated from the beginning, when the European took it over. So it's real interesting. You know what I'm saying? That's the theory though, that they're kind of pushing shit in a certain direction. I could be wrong though.
Very interesting. And I also have a theory too. Like, there's a reason why shit doesn't get too turned up, and they keep an ordered chaos because the original man really thrives in chaos. So I feel like if nukes were real or whatever, I want the nukes to go off because if it became Mad Max, I think we take over very easily.
Right.
Very easily.
Right. Because look at the sports. Whether it's a Jamaican, do whatever, whether it's a Haitian or whatever, FBA, we dominate them in damn near every sport. Now you do have like some of the Slavic dudes in the NBA that are doing pretty good, and your Tom Brady's and shit. But
they had to change the nature of the game to make them do good.
Exactly. That's how they do it. So they couldn't compete. That's why you're right. They don't take it to that level because they get their ass whooped easy. So
yeah,
the black man is God, bro. My bad. I just didn't mean to interrupt. The black man is God. That's all I'm gonna say. Like,
I don't disagree with that at all. I agree with that 100%.
My bad. I'm sorry to interrupt whatever build you guys were doing. I just had to interject.
No, we're all building, and then like just to the point that I keep saying Shanga, to the point that Shanga was making. I also think just to also trick people and make you think it's not just for the European. They bring in these mulatto classes like goddamn Steph Curry and stuff, and be like, hey, look, he's the best at doing this. No, you had to change the game to make him the best. They would have broke that little nigga up back in the days. And I'm not a sports guy. You feel me? But I remember being a kid watching basketball when I was younger, and it was more like a man. I guess that's why I don't like sports anymore. Because when I was young watching this shit with my grandfather and seeing Jordan do this shit on the field and Gary Payton and people like this, there was some man shit going on out there. It was almost war on the basketball court. You feel me? Now this shit is like pussy and weird. You feel me? Like I have no why would I sit there and watch this shit? It's pathetic to me. And also the rituals and like at least maybe I know too much. The rituals are way too obvious because that guy who just got the highest score or whatever. Like, was it Bam? I don't know how much he scored, but that guy lived in my building in Miami. You feel me? I lived on the 51st floor, and I used to see him all the time, and I chop it up with him, and he liked to talk to me. I guess because I'm not. Anytime somebody else would come in the elevator or something, they'd be like, "Oh, talking about the Heat and talking about this and that." And I'm just like, I didn't give a fuck. I guess he liked to chop it up with me because he knows like I didn't see him as anybody special. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was very interesting to me when this guy did this scoring thing, and I'm like, yo, this guy ends up being the top scorer and all this shit. And then I look into the gematria of it, and that shit's dirty, dog. But I'm like, I still can't put my finger on it if it's just the simulacra that's doing it, and that's just the nature of this reality, or if these people are really intentionally doing this these rituals or putting these points in place. Like he gets his points, his grandmother dies at the same age at the same time. Like this shit's too weird, dog. But I'm not gonna go too far down that line.
No, I get what you're saying for sure. I'll be talking about the same shit. I think it's a mix of both. There's natural shit and then there's unnatural shit. Because you got to understand how much control they have over the language and different things like this. And they have infinite money, so they could just do whatever they want. You know these people, so it is what it is. But when you get into the Jesuit piece, they've been operating for at least, 500 years, maybe more. You know what I'm saying? Going into the 1400s. It's like they have ample opportunity to set some shit up or to co-op some shit. Because when they came here, they saw us playing a form of basketball / football, soccer, right? They saw the Mayans and then playing the ball games, playing spades and shit. And they took all our divination science. So, of course, they would, have some kind of powerful shit under their belt because they stole it. It's like, because all that shit, like gematria, all that shit really is just Moorish science, But
yeah, here's the thing about, I fuck with people like Asir, I know Tyreke, like I know these guys and shit, and I highly respect him because I was watching him before I met him, before I knew his homies and all this shit. Right. So, but one thing I really don't get, like one thing I like back in the days, he used to get more into the esoteric magic of this shit. Like I don't really care about the history. I really don't care because we can't change it, we can't bring it back, and the only thing that's still real is this reality and how we can manipulate it and how it's malleable. So I really would like to know more about that. But before I go too far, let me get the chat. We got Masuli at it. He says, mulatto, so I lean into the camp of connecting with 1% people of higher energy plus knowledge before collective. He also just said, yo, disagreeable. You like Taoism? Just started learning about it. I can't say I like it or not, but there's something I found very interesting listening to. It's the Tao Te Ching. The Tao Te Ching. Is that the book of the way? I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but it's very interesting to listen to. It's just like ramblings. And in my trading, one of the main quotes from it that I really like is like, do you have the patience to wait for your mud to settle? Do you have the patience to, and that reflects with trading, because trading, you're gonna feel impulsive. It's gonna get we're getting a little feedback. I think it might be.
Is it me?
Yo. Yeah, I don't hear it anymore right now. So, yeah. But I was saying, like, let me pull it up. Before I pull it up, I'm not gonna play it. I just want to make sure I have the right name. But I wanted to show Shango this, since you're into the decoding. If you've never seen this guy before, Decode Your Reality. He's a white boy that goes very, very deep into the shit. And his thinking is that, and if you do the how to decode yourself, is very interesting. But he goes into his whole perspective is that, like, it's just happening. That's the nature of this thing. It's going to be everywhere. It's not some evil guy doing it. Everybody's just playing their part. You're supposed to. He says you're just supposed to be like he calls it like a good little devil here. While you're in this place, you are on that level. So and I'm not saying I totally follow this guy at all, because he's like one of these small hats that's like, you know, the small hat that goes through the corporate world and all this shit, and then he ends up in fucking Mexico just talking about nothing. So
yeah, doing ayahuasca trips and shit. Yeah,
yeah, I'm sure he's been down all those roads, but he's like very into the science of the playing cards and all that shit. And since you know Moorish history, you know that just more science and all that shit, you know. So let me see that. Is it called the Book of the Way? Lao Tzu, Tao Te Ching. Is that it? Yes, the Tao Te Ching, the Book of the Way. Is this Taoism or am I tripping? Because maybe I might not know what you're talking about exactly, but it's very interesting. If you just have some time just to let it play, the way that the words are coming together, there's just something about it. It's not making sense, but it's making sense. It's very weird. It's almost like and I'm wary of everything. You know, I'm very skeptical about everything, and it almost has the features of a confusion induction. You know what a confusion induction is?
no.
Well, I'm not going to pull it up right now, but if you're interested, it's sometimes you just look it up. A confusion induction is a modality or a technique in a hypnosis. So they'll just start speaking to you, and the shit will sound like it makes sense, but it don't make sense, and it kind of like opens up your mind. It's weird. It's weird. But if you're into like mental exercises and things like that, it's like I'm saying, it's something very hard to describe. But
Gotcha. I'll check it out.
induction, it's like one of my. There's a couple good ones on YouTube, and I think making your own is even better. Just like I was on the homies panel earlier, that kind of like sparked me when I come up and talk some shit on my own channel. How to connect this to the confusion induction. Oh yeah, I made the point on his channel, like, because one of the homies is Matt Hood, and we're talking about deep concepts, and he just hops out of nowhere being hood as fuck, and he's like, yo, did I make that word up? I'm like, yo, making it, things that they negate and they make it seem low intelligence, it's actually some of the highest levels of intelligence. If you look into the Greek language leaves space for making up words, because how are you going to stay within the box? If you can't make up new words, you can't even think of new shit. You know what I'm getting at?
Right.
Yeah, Masuli Addict says, yeah, the Tao Te Ching, Book of Taoism. Yeah, I'm not gonna play it right now, but you know, I feel like it's something very interesting if people are into that. Something, especially playing in the background, if you need your mind just to be calm and be in a certain state of mind to get things done. Well, to me, it's trading. I'm obsessed and I'm consumed with trading right now, and that's how I was gonna originally start the show. I didn't know anybody was gonna pull up so quickly, but I was gonna start the show like breaking down how I was understanding the markets and the epiphanies I've been having, and how it's people on an animalistic level, we want things just to work. We want to know where the food is, how to get the food, how to get the shelter, how to do this. This goes against trading. Trading is about uncommon thinking. So when you're learning the trade, people are gonna be like, "Oh, this is the way, that's the way." You'll see these dumbasses arguing on social media, like, "Oh, that guy don't know how to trade." They'll both be multimillionaires, and one guy saying that the other guy doesn't know how to trade, and one guy saying that's just the ego in this shit. There's no right way to trade. You just have to have ideas and logic that make sense, and your idea can go wrong. That's why it's so connected to life. In life, you can do the best you can do your best and still fail. You feel me? Does that mean that and when you do your best and still fail, what's the difference between a person who bounces back from that or doesn't bounce back for that within a decent amount of time? Is that person who mitigated risk. So what's more important, the strategy of your life or mitigating the losses? You feel me? You don't want to have too big of a loss. But as long as you can, so you can do whatever you want to do in life and keep building as long as you don't have too big of a loss. Like with trading, you might have an idea like, oh, once price hits this imbalance or reacts off of this this exponential moving average or whatever, I'm gonna get in. That's not enough. You need confluence. Just like I feel like in everyday life, you need confluence. When you're making a decision, you need to weigh the risk and the reward, and then you need a confluences how you're going to move towards this. Like, I don't want to get too deep with it because you're not in the trading. I'm gonna sound like I'm speaking a fucking different language, you know. But just me personally, that's why it's so interesting to me. For one, being able to see through the matrix basically because I don't know the news, but I can predict price movement, which I've done it so many times. It should be impossible, especially when something that you could never know happens, like a bomb goes off and price shoots a certain way, and then you see the technicals lined up perfectly. That's why I'm kind of in a space where I'm thinking this shit might be all planned. We might just be in some bullshit and you just have to ride through it. You feel me? That's why, and it's crazy, like Wavy, I don't want to negate anything that you were saying earlier. And I don't want you to think I was like talking down on you or anything. It's just the way I've been looking at life more lately is this, it just is what it is. You just have to surf this shit. You feel me? I can't fully change this game. I can't fully, I can't bring people together. I can't take them apart. Everything is just happening, and you just need to surf this shit properly. You know what I'm saying? And it's a waste of time, and it's a waste of my thinking to think that I'm going to affect other people or make them better. No. Actually, I might not be able to bring all people together. Okay, I'm sorry for getting mixed up right now, but let me just say this. I can only affect those who I come in contact with, and I can't come in contact with everybody. That's where I'll leave it.
Man, everything is everything.
You heard me say a billion times that everything in this reality boils down to nigga-isms. Everything in this reality boils down to nigga-isms. I like to keep it simple. Everything is everything. It is what it is.
Sir.
What it do. You feel me?
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely. Word up.
Little Platypus Dreams in the chat. Haven't seen Platypus Dreams around in a minute. What it do? He said like tenderism. Niggas make up words. You feel me? Nigga made up a word, and now he's living a whole different life.
Bro, Lil Wayne knew the word bling bling, and now it's in a dictionary. Like, that's proof enough for me.
Exactly. And that is,
you know what I mean?
That is our position in this reality, to be infinite creators. You feel me?
Right. Like, there would be no Western music without Black people.
And here's another, that's a great point. And you might want to say, oh, these people look at us this way or that way. I don't give a fuck how people look at me because this is the reality. You say these people who you say have low IQs, don't have any economic power, you say they're slaves, they're the lineage of slaves and all this shit. How do you let the lowest people in your society add more words to your lexicon than anybody else?
Right. Culturally.
They're following us in our face, and people are still looking down on each other. You look at white news shit, and they're talking about Bay. And you feel me? Like just little words that, like, you know, I can't even get into my nigga bag right now. But you know what I'm saying? Every little thing that comes up now, they're even more open with it just to start copying us instantly and saying that. And the one thing I don't appreciate, and I think it's something you just might have to accept, is once they decide to take something, and this is what I really blame niggas for. We don't claim it how we should claim it. And it might be just really because we're like Khalid Muhammad said, we're just the loving, chosen people of this earth. And when you beat us down and hose us down, and you send fucking attack dogs on us and shit, at the end we just say, can we all get along? because it is the true, endless, forgiving nature of the real God, the infinite God. And God is not just soft; he's wrathful. There's all these different aspects, but when it comes down to it, your highest level of how do I say it? Put it this way: do you feel better when you're being positive or being negative? You might be groomed to be more negative in this society, but when I uplift somebody, I feel better. Even though in the back of my head, I'm usually thinking "fuck everybody," and that's a weird duality. And I think it might be a poison in my mind. Like and and, this connects to what I was saying earlier. Are you willing to self-examine all the time? Motherfuckers just get in their bag and they say they're right. You feel me? I'm self-examining all the time. I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if I'm doing this correctly. I don't know if I'm thinking correctly, but I'm thinking at least. You feel me?
You
Yeah,
have to know yourself. You have to know yourself.
right. It's mindfulness, at a high level. I don't think it's necessarily. See, this is the thing I see it. I don't. I don't want to use the word dualistic because that implies like a Gnostic type thing. But God is build and destroy. Destroy wickedness, destroy disharmony, disunity, build up order, harmony, unity, things of this nature. So there's a wicked individual that's not righteous. They need to be destroyed, and there's nothing negative about that in the sense of it's not evil. You know what I'm saying? Because evil is subjective to a large degree. So let's say there's a cat moving out here real foul. He's a PDF file, right? He's an Epstein guy, right? Ain't nothing wrong with destroying that dude because he's causing disharmony between people. He's abusing people's children. So he deserves to go bye-bye. Now, that's not the same as me sadistically and can't even say it, maliciously going after somebody like because I don't like them. You know what I'm saying? I don't like John, so I just talk about his kids and they ain't shit. That's a malicious, sadistic type thing that has nothing to do with this. But harnessing dark energy for a constructive purpose, in my opinion, is not a bad thing. Essentially, what I'm saying. So I wouldn't say, yeah, my bad.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like you have to be you. That's why there's so many different types of people, because there's certain types of people who are totally how do I say, projecting love and light and all that shit. And you need some people who are willing to go to the other side. Like to me, I'm not a gangster, I'm not a bad guy, but if I knew somebody who was a PDF and I 100% knew and I can get away with it, I could stomp their head on the curb while eating a sandwich. I wouldn't feel bad about it at all. I feel fine.
Right.
You feel me? But some people can't do that. No matter what they did, they'll go to That's why everybody can't be a soldier. You go through PSD and all that shit. I'm like, you know why you're going through all that? Because you did shit you knew you weren't supposed to do.
Right.
You feel me? Engage in the worst shit. Nobody's gonna live perfectly, but I don't think you shouldn't let anybody else send you on a mission. So when you said like build and destroy, I think here's the problem: people will get caught in thinking about destruction. You feel me?
Right.
When it's time to destroy, it's obvious, and the people who are supposed to destroy will do it on the spot without a warning, without needing to be prompted or anything like that. So thinking about it and living in that energy is just it's useless. When the time arises, you do what needs to be done, and you immediately go back to being normal. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean that's what it is. It's a higher level of discernment. You got to know the situational mapping of the thing, right? If you got to activate that power, you can't dwell in that shit forever. You know, it's gonna kill you. It's gonna eat you from the inside. You know, even if it is for righteous purposes. So you're right.
And some men will sacrifice themselves for that. You know, have you ever seen a movie with Samuel Jackson, Unthinkable?
Yeah, that's a good movie.
You know what I mean? So like, and it's kind of a shitty low budget movie, but I like it. You got to run that shit back sometimes because you like, sometimes you got to get in this bag. Everything is
right.
not cut. Everything is not cut and dry. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. And that's the thing, man. Like that's why I hate dialectics. And I don't want to keep bringing up some of these rotten individuals, but some of these people that I've encountered in these YouTube spaces, they piss me off so much because they stay in a fucking dialectic.
Define. I don't want to cut you off, but can you please define dialectic? How you're using?
Yeah, no problem. So, for example, the left versus right, they're both controlled by the same people.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's no fucking point in arguing about this shit when we can get to the real heart of the matter, which is these Zionists and Jesuits that run the, like you said, the simulacrum, or however you want to say it. They run this simulation. That's what society is. It came out of somebody's mind or several somebody's minds. And so we're living in somebody else's construction of how we're supposed to live. That's not natural. The way they think is not natural. The way they design it isn't. So instead of fighting over unnatural nonsense that's not real, let's fight over real shit and deal with this problem. But we can't do it because everybody's a thinking cunt, like Dan Pena be saying. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really hate that type of dialectic, either this or that. Like with the FBA African thing, let's just dive into that. There are some black aboriginals or some FBAs that say they have no African connection. Okay, fine. There's a lot of Africans that say there is no black aboriginal. Okay, you're a liar, you're wrong, but whatever. So, with that being known, why does it have to be either or? Why can't it be both situationally with nuance applied? So, therefore, if I know that I have in my genealogy some African, why would I deny that? And if I don't, why would I not say that? You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I see with a dialectic. It's just ridiculous. You know, our ancestors were not stupid. They could think in a multi-dimensional fashion. That's why a lot of their writing systems could be read left to right, up and down, because it activates the brain in a different way. And we need to get out this pit that we think in, you know.
Yeah, it's Pepsi versus Coke. It's performative
Right.
tribalism. You know.
Right. It's fake. It's hollow. You know, you're right.
Yeah, I'm totally against that. But let me welcome Aaron to the show. He just pulled up.
Peace.
Your mic working, Aaron? You there?
Yo. Can you guys hear me all right? Is my mic cool?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you not hear us?
Yeah, can he hear us?
Okay, there's a little bit of a lag, so I'm going to talk kind of slow.
Go ahead.
I just jumped in on the part where you guys was talking about the darkness, and what you're describing isn't really dark energy. It's like good overcoming dark energy, and that includes life and death. So if you was to do someone who's evil dirty, that's just good energy expressing itself rather than actually taking advantage of dark energy. I don't think you can really take advantage of dark energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Can't really take advantage. Go ahead.
Could you expound on that a little bit?
I think dark energy kind of takes advantage of you, like it's consuming.
I could see it. I could see that angle. You know, like you get stuck, because I think that's where disagreeable you were going with it, right? Similar to that, where you can't dwell in that type of thing. You know?
Yeah, don't even think about it because what's right is right. Now do what's right when the time is right.
Gotcha.
Like I'm like saying, like if you're doing something in the name of protecting people or protecting
children, kind of brought that up is because the conversation was about like international Black unity.
Okay, I'm trying to see how that ties in together.
Just like unify based on, okay, I'm marginalized over here, you're marginalized over there, and I'm Black and you're Black. That's really a unification based on like negative energy, and that ain't really ever going to work.
That's interesting.
Facts. So that is interesting.
I get what you're saying too. Like you're unifying.
The way like I get into it, like one of my first girlfriends, right, when I was in high school. Like This is when we were young, and it was like, oh, I don't really like my parents. Oh, I don't really like my parents. And that's kind of how we got together. And that relationship obviously ended up dead.
Mm. I get what you're saying.
And sorry about the lag, because I kind of keep jumping in front of you guys. So I'm going to just be silent for a bit. But it's just like, really, anything that starts with a negative seed is rotten from the beginning. You get me?
Right. I think that's what I was speaking to.
Positive energy. Like this panel right now, where we're all from different backgrounds and different areas and different mind states. That's good energy. That's a good seed. This interaction, I think that's because, like what Wavy was talking about, that's kind of what I think he's talking about is this panel, not any type of Pan-Africanism, but I guess Pana. Yeah, I'm going to stay silent and let you guys talk because the lag is kind of crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know too much about. Is there any way to correct that? Should he drop down or come back in? Is there any way to fix that?
Try that. See if it works. Yeah, try to drop down, bro, and come back. See if that works.
Should I remove him and he comes back, or he has to do it himself? I'm not sure.
If not, then I'll try come back in on my phone. It'll be easier that way.
All right.
Yeah, possibly. Because I'm definitely liking what you're saying. It's definitely thought provoking.
Right. Because I think he's got a point, and that's what I was kind of getting at with. And I'm not trying to diss Wavy at all, but I think that's more from a scarcity mindset, and we don't need to have that if we're going to make a coalition. It can't be founded on fear of the European or the Asian. It has to be founded on trust of one another and a potential prosperous business outcome. You know, what the fuck? Hold up, man. See, now my internet just fucked up. My internet took a shit.
I can hear you. You didn't cut out. So.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, you know, I think it's more on that level, you know, like for the unity, it has to be from a mutual trust position, and that's a positive thing. It's not a negative, fear-based, scarcity-based thing. Like, oh, the white man is going to get us if we don't, you know.
Let me give this example. We're not going to name any names, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you have dastardly devils like that, like somebody who would kind of put those type of accusations on two innocent men that have nothing to do with it, and they're supposed to be, and these are people who've been around supporting you. You feel me?
Right.
Who've been around supporting you, kicking it just on some like brotherhood shit. Even if I'm not trying to do business with you guys like that, like me, when I was really around that side of that black side and shit, and I was chilling with it, I didn't go on panels, I didn't talk. I told my jokes in the chat and how I support it. If somebody offered a service, I just do it, even if I didn't need it. Like a master teacher one, when he was doing his financial services, I was like, fuck it, I'll pay for a phone call. I hear what he got to say about it. Boom. That's my way of supporting him. Like when Ramil was doing his little phone calls or whatever, I was like, yeah, I hear what he got to say because I don't want to be there. Like I think it's very performative trying to drop these super chats and get attention and say this. Like, you feel me?
Right.
So how do you connect with these people? Like not how, because I don't want to. When you got like dogs like that, fucking slivering less than I don't even like because I like snakes and reptiles and shit like that. Let me not even put it in that bag. But a worm, you feel me? And even a worm is good for something. Like a fish with a worm, a nigga like that, I can't do nothing with. You feel me? So you understand what I'm getting at? Like when you got people like that where you can try your best just to stay out of shit and they're still gonna put you in shit. Like I don't even know how to look at that shit. You feel me? Like it really bothers me to it really bothers me because it's not the biggest deal. It's not gonna affect my life on any level. But I feel like I need to keep stepping on this nigga because
I encourage it. You know me, I encourage it. You know, we clown that motherfucker for like 2 hours, 3 hours, man. So, you know, because I'm disappointed too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it didn't affect me personally, but I just hate to see that level of weakness. It's fucking disgusting. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I got my feelings about the other party involved, not you or the other gentleman, the other party. I got my feelings about that, but it's like, you know, come on now. Like, how you're the one that be saying certain things about dealing with people, and then you go and do this. It's like that's why I don't fuck with Angry Man. I don't fuck with BGS anymore. I've exposed them and got on their case and all this shit. So it's like all this shit. If you a fake fucking fraud, phony ass dude, that shit is disgusting. Cause you don't have to do that. Just be you. Be normal. You know what I'm saying? Like this is unnecessary bullshit. It's because dudes don't know their purpose, and so they think
it's just performative. These people don't really have real confidence. Like the same person who might look at me and like, oh, this guy's kind of crazy. He's a bit of a nerd. He doesn't care about being cool at all this shit. They might say he's a bit of a lame. Like I am myself at least. You feel me? And everything I say I'm gonna do it. You feel me? So I don't want to go too far down that road, but it connects to what we're saying about coming together and shit like that. I can't come together with you, dog. I'm gonna end up killing one of you niggas. You feel me? And I'm trying to leave that life behind. I'm really trying to leave that stuff in the past and be a professional. You feel me?
Right. So, exactly.
And these people will drag you back into hell because you heard in those recordings that nigga's in a mental hell, dog. You feel me?
Yeah, it's bad.
He's in a mental hell, and for one thing, I don't want to put out. I could. Feel me? But I feel like people don't care. But I'm sure you saw my page, the little text I have between. You can see what kind of person I am in those texts. You feel me?
Right.
You can see right there how I speak right here. It's the same way I was talking to the bitch. Either let me know exactly what's going on and get the fuck out of my face, bitch.
Right.
Boom. When she let me know what was going on, what was the next message I said? Y'all are pathetic. You feel me? You're the lowest level. You're the lowest level of humans on earth. You feel me?
Right.
And she was tight at me, like saying, not really tight, but just kind of like, pathetic, just saying like, oh no, but she's being manipulated by a loser. You feel me? So I can't even be mad at her. There's just some fucking woman I was talking to in another state. Like that is, like these niggas are weird to me that want to talk to women online and get them to send naked pictures of them and all types of shit like that. Like, nigga, I almost feel like an old man. I've had so much pussy around the world and different women, and I was really in the streets. Like, you feel me? Like, this shit's nothing to me. So the same things, it's this fantasy that people are trying to live, like to show off, like, oh, some type of fashion or a cool car, or oh yeah, I get women, all that. That shit means nothing to me, dog. I've had all that shit to such a high level that I want to change my whole life. I want more from this shit. Right. You know? So I don't know. I don't want to keep digging into that, but I'll let Aaron see if he caught up. Can you hear us good? Are you good?
Uh-oh.
Aaron, you still got the lag?
I can hear you. I don't know.
Oh, he's low too. You gotta turn your mic up, bro.
Yeah, I think the lag is still.
Oh, he's super low. No,
yeah.
He's super low.
Damn.
You know when the mic
Not even low enough to make it out, but I can hear that you're trying to say something, but you're just way too low.
All right, hold on.
It's getting better.
Slightly better.
Is that better?
Slightly, but we need to hear you, bro.
10 decibels more. Yeah.
We've been here for a while. Anyways, like Aaron's in the UK, and the UK homies, they don't really get to enjoy the show unless I do like these random or late night, early morning shows.
Right.
Calling Aaron. Are you there?
I don't know. All right, I'm gonna have to pull up in the next way.
I mean, if we be quiet, maybe you could get away with it. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Are you at least hearing us? I'm gonna mute up and go ahead and speak. Let's see.
I can hear you. I can hear you guys fine, but it's just I don't know if I'm even lagging. Hold up. Can you hear me now? Is that better?
Yeah, that's way better. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay. So I was really just gonna agree with what Shango said about. Oh, it went quiet again.
No, you're good. We're muted up.
I was just gonna agree with what Shango said about there being business in it. You know what I mean? That's kind of how you can see a real world positive effect.
Right.
In terms of unity, sorry, going back to that. And like that does probably kind of interact with the conversation you was talking about with that whole thing. But it's like if there's no business coming out of it, then we are just talking. And if we're just talking, like, I mean, talking is good, conversating is good, like we're doing now. But I mean, if we're talking about Pan-Africanism and nobody's getting no money, that's crazy. May as well just go to church and give the pastor money.
The thing is, I'm not disagreeing, but I kind of don't like the idea of coming together around commerce, because we don't control commerce. So you can come around about, I don't know. It just feels like I'm just coming around. I'm trying to be a better capitalist. You feel me? I was like, I really don't need niggas to do that. So I don't.
I mean, we don't have to control commerce as a whole. I mean, we can buy and sell with each other, or even if we can come together and make money somehow. Like,
but when you say we, I would say like
money.
When you say we, I would say like
to
us.
Say, okay, we ain't got no money printer. We can never come together.
I would say coming together would be like us on this panel speaking to each other. Then we build a stronger bond or something. And then I find out you have a unique talent, or Shango has a unique talent. He's doing some type of business, and then we interface that way. But this was not built around commerce. It was built around, we realize we have some type of respect for each other and common thinking. And then from there, we can build upon that. But I don't think it can be the other way around.
I get that. Yeah, you got to put the trust before the horse.
True.
You got to
agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, like I would say the commerce piece comes after the rapport has been established. You know what I'm saying? The trust. The reason why I say commerce is because it gives someone a tangible contractual incentive to do right by the other party. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but and this is another thing too. I am not an advocate for capitalism. I'm an advocate for indigenous traditionalism, and there's many different forms of this, but we know that the Moors had their own version of capitalism that the Sephardics took and created Hanseatic League jungle capitalism, which is what we live under now, right? That is some bullshit. I don't fuck with that at all. The shit the Moors were doing was different. Like, they had no usury. You know, it was more lenient, things of this nature. It was more communal. You know, I'm down with that shit. I ain't down with the shit we see now. I'm not talking about that. I want to clarify that. But yeah, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. And like I'm saying, like I said, I'm just a thinker. I'm not against what anybody's really saying like that. And if I am against it, it's going to be very clear that I'm against it, you know? And now that you're talking, I'm like thinking, like, how can what you're saying and what we are saying work? And it have to be like, I don't know, the person who is inclined to that, or maybe even me in the future when I'm really sitting on a different type of bag. I say it would have to come through somebody taking the initiative and doing some type of conferences and that are based around first connecting with people based on who they are, and then learning other stuff. So you'd have to do some type of conferences where different people, if you want to just have Black people, melanated people there, we all come together, people from all different countries, and then everybody goes to the podium one at a time, where we're just like, I'm this guy. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm this. You feel me? Like very elementary school type shit. Like, hi, I'm this guy. I like to do this. Anybody else like to do this? You feel me? And then you connect from that level, from liking each other, and then that builds into business relationships. Responsible people coming together and being responsible.
Right.
I see Wavy join back up. If Wavy or Aaron or anybody wants to chat, go ahead.
My bad. I missed like the last 30 minutes or so. Are we like what was good? Like what was really hood was really good.
Who's just saying the blacks are evil? No, I'm playing.
Nah, man, I love Black people, man. Like I'm pro Black to a fault, man. It's just we just gotta get our minds right. You feel me?
I don't think it's really that difficult, and I feel like it's kind of on like the Black American, because everybody seems to follow us in some way. And then like I like to always bring it back to the music. You feel me? You got to get on your on your like your soul type shit. I tell you, that's why they destroyed the music, because with the music it was way easier. You feel me? When you have the barbecues and the turn type of music's going on, it's like,
Oh yeah,
to the world. You feel me? We have certain
just
these
give me
songs.
the night. Yeah, for sure.
If you look at some of the lyrics of these songs back in the days, before they had every artist had to look good, before they had every artist had to be attractive. You got to go back to that point. That shit was some of the deepest, like, love mantras, come together mantras. You
Bro,
feel me?
what? I was listening
Self-image
to
building.
bro, I was listening to George Benson's "Give Me the Night." That sounds like a super popular song, but like it came up on my shuffle because I had all my songs on shuffle, and I'm like, yo, like this was like some love energy type shit. Like, do they make music like this anymore? Like, I don't even know. Like,
No, it doesn't
I love
exist.
that shit. I
Nigga,
love
you
that
could go
love
on,
frequency shit.
and that's one thing I don't like about these black nigga spaces and all this like being too negative about shit. Like, oh, even listening to art, even listen to some soul music or R&B. That's some simp shit or some shit like that. Are you out of your mind? You could.
I love
There,
synth music. I don't give a fuck.
there's a
Right.
there's a VHS. There's VHS recording of Anita Baker live that will fuck your soul up if you play it at the right time. That's a recording of a recording of a recording. And I've watched that shit before, and I'm like, how this shit doesn't exist anymore. And I've even asked younger cats and asked different people, like, who can I go see at a live show where I'm gonna sit there and that shit's gonna almost like well me up in my chest? You feel me?
Nobody.
No, they got
Nobody.
Kehlani. They got Kehlani folded.
I
You
think
didn't
we
see my
need to make it. Oh, go ahead. My bad, bro. This your channel. My bad.
no, go ahead. I didn't know you were talking.
No, my bad. It must have been a weird thing. But no, I was just gonna say, like, with the Kaylani types of like SZA, it's not the same as like Aretha or one of them people or Anita Baker. Yeah, they talk about love and getting heavy and whatnot in the bedroom, but it's not the same as the bras now. It's like it's almost a pseudo masculine sexual energy, which is not cool. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the dudes with vaginas singing. I don't like this shit, man. Like he be rubbing on my pussy, like it's like, ugh. I got eaters, these bitches saying I got eaters, and he chewed me up, and like that's not cool.
Where the bag at? I need a nigga with a bag. Where the bag at? Yeah, all that
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. Like, ugh, you know what I'm saying? And it's like that's not sexy. That's not feminine. That don't put a man into that mood where he could just relax and put the worries of the world down for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I hear what you're saying, though. Her music does sound like sonically pleasing, but it's still, in my opinion, low frequency. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, they as a I'm not like a registered musicologist, but like I like to think I am in my head. But like I noticed when black music got away from the love frequency and we got into like the kind of like the corporate materialistic frequency, that's when let's just say like that's exactly when shit fell apart in the black community. But that definitely made it worse because I remember I was actually listening to it's funny because I was actually listening to Jodeci's first two albums just randomly because I was bored and I just wanted to listen to some like classic R&B. And I was listening to Forever My Lady and Diary of a Madman. And like I was thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, like nobody is making music like this. Like no black artist is making music like this. Maybe there might be some, I don't know, K-pop shit. I don't know. I'm not tapped into mainstream modern music as much as I used to be, but like I was listening to Forever My Lady and Diary of a Madman, and I love 90s R&B, but like I'm just like, yo, like that like soulful essence in the music has just been completely erased. Like you'll never hear like a "My heart belongs to you." Nah, nah. I don't hear that like that essence in black music anymore. And I'm trying to figure out like did they kill it? Did it disappear? Or are niggas just not on that frequency? 'Cause I know these hoes is hoes and who wants to sing to hoes, but like I just don't. I don't know. I feel like that love frequency, when they remove that love frequency, when there's no longer a Brandy or a Mariah Carey or a Jodeci to carry that love frequency, and all we got is I don't know, fucking, I don't even know. I can't even tell you. Like,
it was 100. Listen to what I'm saying. It was 100% destroyed, and some of the people who you're mentioning, they were already part of the destruction. They have to gradually chop this shit down. One thing, if you notice about black music back in the days, there were a lot of one-hit wonders because inspiration and something so crazy and wonderful doesn't always happen all the time. If you notice back in the days, if you got one album, if that shit didn't hit, you were done. You were done. You feel me? And now take it back before that. Now let me comment on also this Kalani. I don't know if you saw I did that show on Kalani Folded or whatever.
Yeah, I was actually watching it like 2 days ago. I was listening to you talk about the Kalani Folded shit. And how like niggas just want some comfortable bitches to sing
just
to them.
Be present. That's why you see women online saying, "Oh, the men took that. This supposed to be our song. The men took it." Yes, because you were vulgar and aggressive, and all the nigga wants you to do is fold some damn clothes and shut up. You feel me? Niggas are too happy to hear this shit, and it really shows like for the men how low the bar is. You feel me? That's why I said it really exposed women. But even before that, I like to take this shit all the way back to, like I'm saying, it's just got to be the 80s, the 60s, the 70s, Anita Baker days, even things that were like drug music. Like if you listen to Bootsy Collins, I got the munchies for your love. You feel me? I'd rather be with you. There's a different essence coming out of that shit. And the music was about being vulnerable. It wasn't that you're going to be perfect or your bitch is not going to cheat or anything like that. It was that I understand that we are imperfect beings on this planet Earth, and I'm going to understand you. You feel me? And when you try to understand and you're self-aware, it doesn't mean that you're going to fuck up. You're going to fuck up in this reality. But you're going to have enough understanding together where even if you fuck up, you're going to be able to stay together for the family. You're going to be able to build something together. You feel me? Nowadays, this shit is not about staying together or building or understanding. But I'll let anybody else who wants to go in.
Real quick.
Yeah, not.
Oh, go ahead, Aaron.
No, you go ahead. Okay.
No, you go ahead, bro.
I was just going to add to that to say that it's like you said earlier, disagreeable. The love is also in the lyrics, though. I think that's where Wavy is like, okay, like SZA and maybe Kehlani, it sounds like they're trying to still push the love frequency, but because the love isn't in the lyrics and it's not a woman talking about her love for a man or a man talking about her love for a woman, because even with that old school R&B, we could listen to Aaliyah sing a song or even sing along with it because we know that's love energy at the end of the day, right? Whereas like I could never listen to any of this R&B nowadays, and it comes down to the lyrics. The lyrics are more I mean, of course the music they're playing and the frequencies they're playing are important, but the lyrics, the frequency behind the lyrics, the message behind the lyrics, because that's what they're trying to really write inside your mind behind the music, because the music just opens up your mind to have like a subconscious track written into your mind. And that subconscious track, we can already, in our subconscious, is protecting us from the negative reality that they're trying to spit into our mind. So yeah, like an important part of the frequency is the lyrics as well. That's all I was going to say.
Right, I agree with that. And you got to think, look at the bras that write this shit, or the teams that come up with it more likely, the ghostwriters, man, and the demographics that they're pandering to. We have a bunch of atomized, homogenized, retard doomers running around here. You know what I'm saying? So, that's who they pander to. And you think let me give you an example. You think one of these dudettes wearing Junko jeans is going to be able to take some dude singing to her? No, because she thinks she's a dude. So it's like you challenging her whole perception, her whole being by singing to her like she's yeah. So they call it monogender. It's called the monogender, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a psychological phenomenon that was studied from the 80s going up until I think 2018. And in the 80s, they asked, I think, a couple million women, what 3 adjectives do you define yourself as? A lot of them said sweet, nice, all that shit. Fast forward to 2018, they asked, a couple million women, what do you identify as? Ambitious, strong,
independent.
Right.
Don't need no nigga.
Exactly. That's not womanly. That's a man
Right.
with a vagina. So
Now,
it's
how do you
like,
make R&B music out of that shit?
exactly. How do you make love to a man unless you're gay? Pause.
Real,
And that's how they
that's
feel.
real talk.
Hey,
That's
yo.
like it's like inverting heterosexuality into homosexuality by making
Right.
you by playing on your desire for a woman, but that woman identifies herself as a man, whether consciously or subconsciously.
Right. Exactly.
But what was I just? Oh yeah. No, I'll let you carry on. I forgot what I was gonna say.
But you did remind me, Aaron, because I know you've been around the show and you heard me say it plenty of times about how they took the word love out the music, and it's really mutual.
Yeah.
It's really mutual simping. You feel me? It wasn't simping back in the days because you say, you have a woman singing about how I'll do anything for you, I'll go to the end of the world, and you have a guy saying the same thing. You feel me? And it wasn't these broad writing teams when you take it way back. It was really somebody thinking about somebody who they fucked with like that. You feel me? And they probably were
Because
in their
writing your own music was a big deal.
Yeah, because even when I was in the music scene, I have homies I made music with. Like we were in the streets at the same time, but we were still artists. And they would agree with me. I'd say straight up, like, you ain't never wrote a song if you never been in your crib by yourself and tears coming to your eyes and shit like that. You never tapped into that energy. You never gone there. You feel me? And that's where you need to go to get that. That is the real shit. All this other stuff is performative because you're trying to sound cool. You want it to sound good. You feel me? Well, when you're really making art, I'm not necessarily trying to impress you with art. Art is what it is, and it either is gonna attract you or repel you. But you can go ahead, Wavy.
No, I was gonna say like like occasionally I listen to the radio because just I kind of know what's going on. Like I don't really like I normally listen to my own music, but anyway, or like the music on my own phone. But like I was listening to the radio and like I noticed that it was either like I was listening to like Hot 97 or like 104 Breakfast Club, whatever the fuck. And I noticed that like every other song, if it was an R&B song, it was like it was the Kehlani song, or it was what's the other song, the Burning Blue song or whatever it is, by I forgot who it is, Mariah the Scientist. If it wasn't like in like those two songs in particular, like the way I interpret them, it sounds sweet and sensual on the ear, but like it's really like very like narcissistic and like very like self-centered R&B. Like whereas like I said earlier, like I was into like Jodeci and like I was into like old school like Brandy and Aaliyah from the 90s and shit like that. Like the love music was never, it was not as self-centered as it is now. Like when I listen to, cause I'm a big R&B fan. So when I listen to today's R&B, the point I'm trying to make is that when I listen to today's R&B, it's not like love, like I love you and I'm writing a song about me loving you and you loving me. It's more like I'm writing about myself and how I feel about you and how you feel about me, but it all switches back to me. And I think that, I don't know. I feel like the essence, like that's not what the essence of R&B is and the love frequency. I don't know if it's on, actually, here's what I was actually going to say. The main point I was going to make, I remember there was a tweet by Missy Elliott, who used to write for Aaliyah, Genuine, used to do stuff with Timbaland back in the day. I remember she said that like she had a record label meeting, or she had a meeting, or she was talking to like a record label executive, and like she basically said that like they were and this is like back in like I think like 99 or like 2000, but basically she was saying that they wanted to dumb down R&B and like remove the powerhouse vocal and make the singing more simple and make the lyrics more simple, kind of like what happened to hip hop or rap. And when I think back to like what I was just talking about before, it makes perfect sense because you don't hear, number one, you don't hear powerhouse vocals anymore, and that's like a talent thing, that's whatever. But like you also don't hear that love frequency like how you did in the 90s and the 80s, and it just seems to me like this was like very conspiratorial, I guess is what I'm trying to get at.
And I want to add this too. The love frequency wasn't just slow dance, slow half sad music. If you think about like Cameo, Candy and shit. You feel me? That shit's like kind of people don't really listen to the lyrics. That's just if you listen to like Zapp Rogers, you feel me? I want to be your man and shit like that. And that's even once shit starting to get degraded and shit. But you hear like Cameo saying, "But you affect me, fascinate me. I'm what's he saying? Because you affect me, fascinate me. I thank heaven for the things that you do." Like deeper lyrics, like in this and Wave, you made a great point about how this is like narcissistic R&B. Like it's kind of like it's off-putting, dog. Even though the song is aesthetically pleasing, the bitch is like, "Now will you come pick, bitch? I'll get my clothes when I feel like it. Why didn't you fold the fucking clothes when I was there?" You feel me?
That's what I'm saying. You feel me? Like it's very like so. I mean, I get it. Like social media. I feel like social media has like when people say, "Oh yeah, music is dead," and like social media is a big problem. Like that's not a coincidence that like these two things are happening at once. Because when you listen to like black love music, we don't get like okay. The way the best way I could put it is like, and I'm not gonna say Taylor Swift is like the epitome of like white love music or anything like that, but like we don't get in it like why does our black artists have to be traumatized? Like why does our black artists always have to make trauma music? Like we don't get like where's our black sweetheart type of artist that like just sings about being in love? Like we don't get that. It has to be like trauma music or like it has to be very like psychologically damaged. Like it has to come from the psychologically damaged perspective where we don't get a young black sweetheart artist singer that is just singing about black love like how it was in like the 50s or 60s. You know what I mean? We don't get that. We have to get traumatized, toxic shit. Go ahead.
I think it's just it's like turning the sun into a black hole, right? So instead of emitting light and sending light rays outwards, which would be love, because love is something you give ultimately at the end of the day, they turned it into a black hole for love. So that when you listen to it, it really is just sucking your energy. And that's what's going on with the lyrics in terms of instead of them actually saying, okay, I love you, this is the type of love I have to give. And even more than that, to say that I have to give this love to exist, right? Like the sun has to emit sun rays to be the sun. Now it's like, this is the type of love I expect. This is what I expect from you. This is what I'm taking from you. And that's an inversion. And like, it's just sucking the energy out of R&B and really is sucking the energy out of the listeners. And I just want to go back to what Shango just said about the doomer narcissistic thing, and then even circle back around that to what I said about the negative seed. It's just like negativity on negativity on negativity. And that's what they're trying to plant in our souls and our spirits now. Going back to what Disagreeable said about you got to go back to the soul. Like they want to plant the seed of negativity and let that grow. That's kind of what I think it is. That's why it's not from a perspective of why don't we get any more. Those things are out there. Like I don't know how young you are, but like back in the day, like we used to find like underground hip hop shit, and people would be like, "Oh, who's that? Oh, where did you get that from?" And we'd be like, "Oh, I don't even know. Oh, I forgot." Even though you listen to that shit all day, you like kind of protect it, that energy of something good. And what's come of it is, hey, we didn't really know that. We like even going back again to the question Disagreeable asked about Khalid Muhammad saying that, oh, we just got this good energy, this giving energy. It's like when you hear that R&B, those songs from back in the day, it's like we would never even think that that's something someone would want to destroy, that that's something someone would want to invert into something evil or destructive. But so in that sense, we didn't defend it, we didn't protect it. And I think that's kind of the cycle. It's like,
that's a good point right there.
It's just like that music's so beautiful. You hear it, you feel good. Like, what the fuck? How can you see that, hear those lyrics, and then think, "Oh, I need to destroy this"?
I think No Scrubs, like it was one of the first songs. I mean, it could have went before that, but I feel like, and I love that song, No Scrub. But like that song, I feel like was wet. Like either they had an agenda with that song, or that song just happened to be picked up. But like a song like No Scrubs in the black community was so detrimental. We didn't maybe we didn't realize it at the time because it was a catchy song and we loved TLC, but like that at that like looking back on it, like a song like No Scrubs was so detrimental to the black community because we were already fragmented and fucked up at that time. But then you add this message of like, okay, like this black man is this and and I'm sure that it was probably a bunch of songs before that. This is just as far as I can remember, but like that anti-black male.
Can you play my
bills?
bills? Can you pay
Yeah,
my
and I love that
telephone
song too.
bills?
That song is
Can you pay my
hot.
automobile
I
bills?
don't
That's-
think you do. You know what I mean?
But ain't nothing going on but the rent.
Right.
What-
Or
What's
Diana
love
Ross's
got to do? Got to
right.
do with it?
Tina Turner and like Diana Ross is Upside Down. She's like, I respectfully, I know you're cheating, but like, why is our love music still gotta be demonic? Like, we can't just have a love song, like at least at a certain point in time, like I guess post 1980s, like why even our love songs gotta be like there has to be a level of dysfunction, whereas like other
I
genres
don't see it as
don't
dysfunction. I
get it
see it
like
as
that.
an attack. I see it as
Right,
a blatant
right.
outright attack because there's no way that like you can't be the people who make music like that and then simultaneously destroy yourself because of some kind of internal thing. No, that is imposed, superimposed, and like I say, it's a seed that has been planted.
Let me add to what Aaron was saying. I'll give it right back. Just 2 seconds because I want to point this out too. Because it's not just romantic love. Black people, we made songs for love's sake, the love of the world, the love of the universe. Kenny Burke, keep rising to the top, do better. You feel me?
Right.
Just self-image music and shit like that. Like, you know
Say
what
it
I'm
loud.
saying? The love was really pure because it went beyond sexual and the relationships. And I need this
Exactly.
from you. No, it was really like. It's really that barbecue music from back in the days, man. The shit that like everybody just feels good. We are niggas sing about family, dog.
Right. And that's what it is. If you listen to the TLC story behind that song, man, they didn't even want to sing that shit. They were forced to sing about a label, and they gave it to them. So we all know who controls the music and entertainment industry.
Right.
So I mean, it is an attack. There's no other way to look at it.
But the sinister part of the attack
telephone bill.
is it's like, okay, you see what they're doing in, wherever all over the world. That's them people's business. Because as far as I see it, the people that sold us into slavery is now arguing about who got what. Well, that's a whole next discussion. But you see the way they deal with them is they're just dropping big shit on their heads. You get me? But with us, it's like, that's not enough. They need to get some sort of energy out of our live suffering. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because I mean, there's clear hate in the destruction of black music.
Right.
But it's like, why didn't you just turn off the radio? Why didn't you just, do what you're doing in the Middle East right now?
Why can't I turn off the radio?
It's like they actually have to make us like suffer internally to try and really to get their joy out of it. Like, because the way I see it is like black joy is a form of pain to them. It's like, okay, I'm black, you see yourself as other to me, and something inside you, this so-called racism, right, which is in some ways a natural response to the fact that if a black person sexually interacts with them, what's coming out is black at the end of the day, by their own science and by their own pseudoscience, whatever way they want to look at it. So it's a fear response. So okay, you're other than me and I'm experiencing joy. You have to, for you to experience what I'm experiencing, you have to invert that for me. So they have to get their joy from our pain. That's the kind of way I see it. They can't just, kill us or just, I don't know, just go about their fucking day and leave us the fuck alone. right?
Right.
They see us, they see the joy that comes naturally from us. Like seeing, like, bro, if you see the looks on people's faces when two niggas is just laughing together, it's the hate that you'll see in their faces is this.
What do they got? What do they got to be
crazy.
happy about? They're black.
Exactly. Hey, Disagreeable
Oh, yeah.
said there was a word about that a little while back. Disagreeable, you said they called it like negritude or niggertude. Was that you that said that? Like they actually had a word for literally like after what we've done, how can you still be joy? No, it's like I don't know, but they had a word for that. For where it's like, how can you actually experience joy? Do you know what I mean? But like I say, they have to invert our joy to actually experience joy. That's what the whole imitation is, because we're part of the landscape of this planet. Like we're like the plants and the trees. We're not just
cannon fodder. Like we
we're
are natural.
not even that.
To
We're not alien.
ecosystem.
Exactly. Like we appear from nothing. You go back 5,000 years, they ain't there. They can't see themselves. You go back any longer than that, it's all black. You get me? So it's like for them to identify themselves, like I say, they have to invert what we are to experience what we experience. So like I say, that internal well of joy, like even now we can see these things, but if we look back internally at like, okay, I'm from the Caribbean, there's slavery in the Caribbean, and look at what ancestors who went through slavery went through, we can say, okay, we're not going through that. But our ability to experience joy survived through that and was there before that. And the monolithic structures we built all over the planet is there way before even the existence of these things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make, really. They have to destabilize and invert what we are to become us. I'll leave that there.
Shango, you want to add something?
No. I mean, I could, but yeah. I mean, that's what's going on, bro, for real. You know, they're trying to water down to get access to the keys. That's why I'm very careful about breeding with other women, man. I'm not saying you got to stay with black women per se. If that's your bag, you do what you want to do. But I'm just saying, like, doing too many.
No, I'm with the black woman, bro.
Yeah. Some people they kind of venture outside of that. I'm not going to judge them because that's a personal decision. But
right.
Yeah, but it's like doing too much around the Eurasian, giving them a pass a little bit too much leads to your falling, because they don't see it. Most of them, not all, most don't see it like how we see it on a more, how do I say this? They don't see it from the perspective of an abundance perspective. They have a cultural scarcity mindset that goes all the way back to the steppes of Eurasia, where they were starving. You know,
I was saying before, they have an infinite void,
right,
that can't be filled, and it's not just the music. Like I was saying, when I've been around these people who, black people, we deal with these economic issues and stuff, so we think the money is going to make it better. You know what I'm saying? But I've been around these people who have bread, and I remember being in like Colombia. I'm up in this very expensive neighborhood, like multi-million dollar properties in Envigado, multi-million dollar in Colombia, which is different. You feel me?
Right.
So I'm up in these properties up in the mountains overlooking the city and shit. And these people are just kind of keep trying to pick my mind. And I'm letting my business partners talk. You feel me? I got these two white business partners there, and I'm letting them talk and be all talkative and shit. And I'm just sitting there. And then the guy who's a leader there, and like, I'm not going to say his name, but he's like, him and his partner were the first people in the country to have their cannabis licenses. These Canadian guys, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, they're trying to pick my business partner's talking to him. They're talking. He's like stops, goes directly to me, and he's like, "No, this is the guy. Like this is like trying to big me up to get me to talk." And I'm just like, "Nah, I'm not into it." But I'm gonna say this to say this. I'm not gonna say too much. But so I'm just there kicking it, and then this guy comes back with his shoes off, and he sits down, and I notice his toenails are painted, right? And I'm like, "Man, here we go." I'm like, "This fucking bullshit, dog." So. And like this was a very, and here's the thing, I can't be told. I don't hate these people. I kind of feel bad for them. They feel pathetic to me. I'm being real. Like I don't.
Right.
You feel me? Like there's an emptiness that can't be filled, and I can see it in their face, and especially when you start getting some real good herb in you. Because I'm telling you, these are the professionals
But
of the
that's the
company.
right response.
I'm like I said to Shingo the other day. Like if I might not like a dog, but I don't want to kick a dog.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right. And it's like, but that hate for them would justify their hate for you, and that's kind of it's another inversion. So that's, in my opinion, that's the right response to have, because it's just like, okay, now I'm gonna internalize hate and then exist in a state of negativity because of your like internalized hate and negativity. It's like, nah, your energy can't like overcome my energy and turn my energy into your energy.
But it's almost like you could feel it in the air. And this is gonna be a weird comparison, but like when I had to walk through the fucking Fed tunnel underground in Miami and shit and pop out in that courtroom and shit, and then I had to go for my fucking sentencing and all that shit. There was an energy in there that was like this place was designed to suck. I wasn't scared. I knew what I was facing. Like I knew what it was. I had a good lawyer. It's not like I'm going in there. I don't know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen, but just being in there, it was like sucking my energy, and it was very akin to when I was around the white people in these very expensive rooms, and even at these dinner parties in Miami and shit, and at these properties, and it's just weird. You can feel this energy, just this thing in the air, and I don't talk to people about this that often because it seems like I'm on some like ghost story type shit. You feel me?
That's what I was saying about the sun and black holes.
Right.
It's like the light is getting sucked in. Like they can see the light. You know, it's got to do with melanation as well, like the absorption. We don't just absorb light, we actually emit that shit.
Right, exactly. They're on some vampire shit, low key. Like
real shit.
I don't want to sound spooky, but it's like, I know exactly what he's talking about. That shit is creepy. It's uncanny valley shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
facts. And it's all the weird shit. Go ahead.
No, yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying it's just so weird, and it's like conversations I can't really have with that many people. That's why I really appreciate the Homie Magical Family. Because once I found out, like we already knew each other through music so heavy, and once I found out what he was into and the business he was into, and so we started having different conversations, I'm like, yo, I'm not bugging. I'm not crazy, dog. I don't even want to get into the stuff that I was really into, but you already kind of spoke about it, how I was into the psychedelic medicines and all that. So that was always around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I notice when these people get off the psychedelics, they get more pathetic. It's crazy. It's fucking insane. I feel like Superman. You feel me? I feel like, oh, my mind's working clear. I'm more in tune with nature. Everything's fucking clicking and feeling good. And they just start being weird, like wanting to fucking confess shit, and you know what I'm saying? Like just do weird shit, dog. Like,
yeah, right. I seen the same shit, man. I used to engineer people in the studio I was working at, right? And so this Pakistani would come in, and I think he's Pakistani because he looked like that. And he would come in, he would be so blazed up, man. He'd be high as hell, man. And this dude would just lay on the floor sometimes and talk about, man, I wish I was dead and you have it so good. I'm like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? I'm trying to get through this session. And this motherfucker was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's tripping. I'm like, this dude really has a void in his soul, man. Or he doesn't have a soul at all. You know, I've heard some people say some of them ain't got no soul. So,
well, hey, the thing is, right? It's like, would he do that around his people?
Right.
Or is he trying to like take sunlight from you? Like he
Right.
vocalizes that around random dudes in the studio.
That's interesting. That's a good.
So it's just like he's just doing his black hole thing. Like I get that a lot. It's like it's just a taking, because it's like, okay, they don't have anything to give us.
Right.
They don't want to give us anything, and they don't have anything to give us. So I don't want to keep talking circular, but like I say, it's an inversion. It's like, okay, he's telling you he wishes he could die. That means he wants you to speak life into him. And that's what I'm hearing, basically. Because he knows, but it's because he knows you have that capability. He knows
Yeah.
that, like, he knows where to go for that. You go to a burger joint for burgers because that's where you get burgers. And you want a nigga to speak life into you, you gotta go to the studio or whatever this dude was on, like.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's some weird shit, man. It's like there's no reason why you should be doing this except for that purpose. You know, you're trying to extract something from somebody.
Exactly.
It's real predatory. You know, because
Yeah.
he came into my studio, man, essentially, and said, "What if I called you the N-word just randomly?" And I said, "I have to go up and get a machete."
What?
Yeah, I
This
said I
man
might
just
have to get
played
that
too much.
machete and chop your
Yeah.
fucking head off. You know what I'm saying? I was not playing with this dude. It's like, dude, what are you doing, man? And he would just test the boundaries, and this is a common thing in what they do, you know.
This is their obsession with a black man. Who even thinks about some shit like that? You feel me? It's
Exactly.
the obsession,
Exactly.
and this is why you can't be around weirdos. And I'll let you know this straight up without even qualifying it. But before I moved into the next level of my street life and shit, when I was outside with the powder, you feel me?
Right.
All over Miami, I had high level clients. You feel me? Like the people who built the most technologically advanced hotel on the beach were all my clients. And guess what? And here's the thing: I got away from the music world and the art world to get away from weirdos. Guess who? The highest level of everything is weirdos.
Yeah.
All the architects that built the whole building were all the fruitiest weirdos in the world.
Yeah.
And then they invited me to the opening of the hotel. So I go to the hotel and I'm like, all right, there's gonna be a party, there'll be bitches in there. This shit was weird as hell. And the thing is,
Yeah.
you can't even be around these people. It came to a point where I was getting so much money in the streets that I was like, and you know, there's weirdos around. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna be too. I want to get this bread, so I'm not gonna be too extra or too like yeah, they can move and be all fruity or whatever, but long as you keep a line, you can't even do that, dog. If you treat them like humans and not the demons that they are, they're gonna try to take liberties with you, dog. They're gonna try to overstep this boundary, and you're gonna end up killing a nigga. You feel me?
Right. Yep. Right. It's sick, man. There's some sick motherfuckers, man, and I think it's very important for us to protect ourselves as much as possible from these people.
Right. Because I think that kind of goes back around to what Wavy's point he was trying to make. I don't think he's trying to say that, like, oh, black people should be homogenous, but these weirdos recognize each other. And then, like Disagreeable just said, all these people at the top, they end up being weirdos. And that's because they link up. They're like, okay, I'm a weirdo, you're a weirdo. Let's do some weirdo shit. And then let's try and get someone who's not a weirdo and turn them into a weirdo, because that's the best thing a weirdo could do possibly. You get me? So in that sense, we don't have the kind of defenses against that, because there's ones of us like who would have, going back to the R&B conversation, there's people that when that song Wavy was talking about, No Scrubs, came out, or any of these other songs we brought up, there's people there and then that would have been like, nah, this is a terrible message. It's just destructive. Why would we even be doing this? Like you said, Shingo, TLC didn't even want to release that track. They were just kind of contractually obliged. So if we don't have some kind of basis for unity, which, like, I agree with Disagreeable, it's not just the commerce first, but I just think like that, I agree with you in the sense that that's just like the material, real world, like expression of that unity that everybody's actually coming up in a sense. But it does have to start with like recognizing real, because weirdo recognizes weirdo. That's what I'm trying to say. Real needs to recognize real, because weirdo recognizes weirdo.
Right. I agree. I understand that for sure. That shit is not cool. Tell you that.
So let me ask you this question, Shango.
Right.
Since I know you also come from the Moorish perspective, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so do we destroy these people or do we civilize them?
90% need to be destroyed. There's no saving. There's no saving them. The Abos try to do it. The African Moors try to. The Christian Moors try to do it. The Muslim Moors try to do it. There's no fixing them. They're too far gone. I was talking about this with my Greek friend, man. He's tapped into this stuff too. He understands all this type of shit we talk about. And he was saying like he can't stand his own people and other Europeans because they're just too far gone, man. They're too narcissistic. They have a death culture, like I mentioned, and they'll drag anybody else into the mud with them. So they're not. There's no saving them, man. There's only a very, very small percentage that can be saved, and usually they get on one of our programs, right? They might join some African spiritual system, a Moorish thing, a 5% indigenous American thing, or they work with us or whatever. They're gonna have to be connected to us in some way. That's the only way that some of them are gonna stay here. Otherwise, they
at
got
the end of the I was just going to say quickly, at the end of the day, in answer to Disagreeable's question, look at what they've done with the civilization we've given them.
Right.
Because, like, where's the origins of civilization? Or even where's the origins of civilization for them? So, like, it's a question that's already been answered. We're in the situation we're in because we civilized them and what they did with it.
But Aaron, you might have heard me say this before. And I feel like the propaganda against the so-called black man or whatever is so heavy because they need to keep this mental bullshit going on, this hate going on, because the earth itself, just like you see a wildfire happen or a natural disaster, the earth heals itself very quickly and comes back even better all the time.
Right.
And if we were not dealing with this propaganda and all this shit, and just like the white man has a problem, he can't even exist under the sun. You know what the world would do if we weren't dealing with this propaganda? We'd all just smash the white bitches, and then we'd be mixing together, and out of nowhere, everybody would be fixed. You feel me? They have to keep us separated, and that also connects to what I was saying to Shango earlier about how these beings that travel on the light need people with low melanin to get into them. If we got rid of the low melanin people, maybe we get rid of a lot of these issues that we're dealing with on an ethereal level.
Right.
Yeah. They're the perfect conduit. Shit.
I mean, so what? By civilized, you mean dick down white bitches?
If that's what it takes, if that's what it takes. If that's what it takes, the sacrifice. You know what I mean?
Hey, it is what it is, man. I mean, that is gonna happen anyway, because white bitches like us. So
because here's the thing, like I've dated like just about every so many different types of women and stuff like that, and I say dated how women say it, smashed. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
And when it comes down to it, let's say the black woman is the most difficult in my mind, and they have the most self-hate, low self-esteem, and it will affect you being with them after a while. You feel me? But that's still, even with all that shit that I feel like is a fact for me at least, to me they're still the best. When you see, put it this way, people will say like, oh, Latinos are the best looking overall or this or that or whatever. I don't just say overall. If you were going to bring me the baddest black woman on earth and the baddest white, I think the black woman is better than all of them at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So that's where my attraction is. But something in my mind as of late has been telling me like, I need to go get like a 6'2" Swedish bitch. I need to put my seed in that shit for some reason. And what Shango, what you said the other day is like, oh yeah, you can mix with them, but you got to find the best stock of them or whatever, and then you can make a super person. I was like, yeah, that might be what I need to do.
Right. I mean, hey, and this is the thing. As long as you impart your culture onto that child, and they eat a certain diet, like the cheese and the milk, that's what's making them mutate, and it's killing them. It's aging them. Yeah. So if they eat, for instance, like jollof and fufu all day, that's different than one of these random ass niggas getting a white bitch and eating Chick-fil-A all day. It's a little bit different. So your outcome is going to be better, because that's native indigenous food, indigenous African food, indigenous American food, whatever it may be. It's a carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen rich diet, which means that they're tapping into those, if they do have them, black genes, and expressing those genes and turning those on instead of turning on and continuing the Eurasian shit. Because really, this is gonna sound fucked up, but the Eurasian is a mutant. You gotta understand that. Like, I know
Bro,
a
that
lot
has
of
been
people gonna
scientifically proven.
yeah,
Like literally, there's a dude on the internet, you can search it. Like it's not even like controversial science. He's an Asian dude. I think he was looking at some type of zebrafish, and he basically said that if I find that, I'll bring that to Disagreeable's attention. But basically, he said that all other races are a mutation of black, and it's an Asian dude that said it. It's not even like controversial. Like I want to say, you know, black scientists or like Pan-African science. It's like an Asian dude's like, yeah, everyone is a mutation out of black people.
Right.
Like to be on a planet that is like sort of dominated by the sun and be adversely affected by the sun is fucking ridiculous.
Right. It makes no sense.
Yeah, they try to feed like ever since I was a kid, that shit sounded stupid to me. Like, oh yeah, people moved from, you know, the story they tell, people moved from Africa and then it was cold and they got white. I'm like, yo, the sun is reflecting off the snow. There's such thing as a snow burn. It gives you a worse sunburn. You feel me? And if you look at the real indigenous people who live in these cold climates, they're hairless people with dark skin.
Right.
How do you end up being hairy and white when you look at the Inuits and the real natives, and they're basically kind of Chinese niggas or something like that.
Right. Exactly. So it's a lot that goes into it, man. Like, the paler you are, the more sicker you are. So it's like, if you're gonna breed with one of them, make sure you elevate those children, because you don't want Drake babies. You know what I'm saying? Where like his father's black, his mother's white Jewish. He's reversing the process, so his children are gonna be towards the European side.
Back Shango.
So
Shango. Go ahead, my bad.
No, you good. Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna add.
Well, is it Shango or Shango?
It don't even matter. To be honest, it don't even matter.
I just don't want to call you the wrong thing. I've been calling you
good.
Shango.
I don't even care, bro. It's all good. It don't matter. I got so many names. Go ahead.
Let me just add to what he was saying, and also what I was saying earlier about people not being around these people for real or being in their households. Like the fact that I've like dated so many Jewish women and shit like that, and all these different types of people. Those people who really like seem to be running shit and like looking down on people and calling people the worst. They are like some of the most genetic problems. Period. Motherfuckers can't even breathe right. They have like deviated septums. They have to get their nose. A lot of them get their nose done because they need to be able to breathe. And two, once they get that shit fixed, they're like, go ahead and fix the hump on it or fix whatever, so they get a nose job or whatever.
Right.
If you were really inside of these people's houses, or people who aren't like black people, we are dealing with medical issues because of fucking poisoning. We're under a war.
Yeah,
we're under nutritional war.
That's being imposed.
Right.
Yeah, if we're not under that war and we don't take that stuff in, we're pretty much good. But even in Colombia, like they have some of the best food, quality food. They don't let that American shit go over there. Period. No Monsanto. And even if you go to get some junk food, you know the bag of chips has a big warning on it, like cigarettes. You feel me?
Shit.
A big ass warning: too much sugar, too much this, too much that, like straight up like cigarettes. But one thing I noticed about the Colombians, they be some super bad bitches, but they kids be fucking big waterhead ass babies. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really wondering what's going on, because they low key eat like shit. They got the best food out there, but you see they just eat fucking like Papa's Fritos all day with fucking chopped up hot dogs on it and shit like that. And it's insane to me, because you have some of the highest quality steak I ever had, like for basically next to nothing. I'm in Bogota eating some of the best steak I ever had. That the guy wasn't trying to impress me. He just bought me a damn steak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So
it's poisoning and programming.
Say that again.
It's poisoning and programming.
Facts.
Yep.
And here's the thing: people in other countries can get away with eating a little shittier than we can here, just because they have less pressure on them. There's less stress, and the number one killer is stress. Because I always had homies who in South Florida, like I had homies who were like Brazilian and shit. And one thing you notice about a Brazilian, they might eat like shit, but they are so free and happy that they just live long as shit. You'll see an 85-year-old nigga running around playing soccer, drinking beer, and smoking cigarettes. You feel me? And it just comes from being stress-free and happy. That's the number one thing.
Right. Exactly.
I'm enjoying the conversation, but we just hit 3 hours, dog.
Yeah, I feel you. It's
Yeah,
6
man.
in the morning for me. Shit.
You know what I mean? I want to go chill out. I see the sun starting to come up outside. You feel me? I'm trying to get my vampire shit.
For real. But yeah,
All right,
appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, you too, bro. Shout
Yo,
out to you.
Aaron, dog, I know you're in the UK, but dog, stay in contact, man. I don't know if you follow
Of
my trading
course.
channel. I'm gonna start being more diligent. You feel me? I just didn't want to put bullshit out there. I needed to study harder. I needed to lock in more and get these concepts and ideas and philosophies behind the trading more together.
Right.
But anybody who wants to embark on this journey, I'm willing to help shorten the distance of this treacherous trail that you have to get on to fucking get through this shit. Because it's more than just understanding it. Technical analysis. It's really understanding
Right.
yourself, and that's why I love
Yeah.
it. You feel me? It makes you confront yourself because
Shit, could you put it up in the link for your channel?
yeah, I'll drop it in because I don't want to drop it on my story post. Where should I drop it? Oh yeah, we have private chat in here, right? So
Yeah.
I'll pull it up. Just give me 1 second. I'll pull it
my
up.
bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all good. I was just saying how I just love how it reflects life and things that you can tell people. Like I've had homies who've been seeing me, like people who I was outside with and shit like that, and they see it and they're trying to attempt it. And I tell them like people who I know would just throw $500 at a bitch or some shit like that. I tell them, give me $50 now, and I'll share some of this private information that I invested in with you. And they don't want to give me the $50.
Right.
You know? So I'm like, and then they'll try to attempt it themselves, and then they'll come to me later and be like, "Oh, I lost all this. I did that." I'm like, "Yeah, that's gonna happen because it's uncommon thinking." So you're thinking like, "Oh, everybody's messing up because they just do this. All I got to do is follow my own rules." Yeah, to get in shape, all you got to do is push-ups. You don't do the push-ups, do you? You feel me? It's the things are simple, and something is very interesting confronting your psychology when you get to feel yourself crashing out. I can't stop pressing the button. You feel me? I got to make it back. I'm revenge trading. I can't. And once I'm feeling myself getting closer and closer into this energy of like, none of this shit matters. One decision means nothing. It's an amalgamation of decisions, which means something in data that comes from that. You feel me?
Right.
And it really reflects in with life like crazy. But yeah. If you guys want to say anything before we get out of here, y'all can go ahead and say it. I'm gonna pull up this link for you. Let me find it real quick.
No, man. All I want to say is appreciate the convo, guys. I'll catch you next time.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Aaron. You feel me?
So, yeah, it was an excellent discussion, man. This is really what Black Manosphere spaces, and I'm not saying you're in, man. I'm just saying in general, these spaces should be. It should be shit like this. You know what I'm saying? A building, ironing things out, breaking down concepts. I really like that type of shit. So definitely appreciate y'all for this, man. For real.
Real talk. All right, you man. Bless.
There goes the private chat. All right, there it goes. There, the link is right there. So, and Wavy already knows. I talk to Wavy all the time, so he can link up if you want. And the thing is, and I know Wavy's looked into it a bit. I know how it feels. It's very daunting because I looked at trading for years and years. I pulled it up, and I remember just looking at the chart like, what the fuck is going on? You feel me? Just numbers and lines and this and that. And then you just got to chop at it, just like anything else in life. Keep chopping at it. That's why I really look at this as martial arts. When I'm in my zone and I'm doing these long hours on hours and hours trading sessions, study sessions, I call them training sessions to get where I'm at. In my mind, I'm Jackie Chan. I'm kicking the wooden dummy. You feel me? I'm doing them sit-ups, taking a teacup and filling up the bucket hanging from my ankles. You feel me? This shit is arduous, but it's gonna work. You feel me? I'm a Kung Fu flick nerd. You feel me? So overcoming and going through hell and coming out the other side through hard work, that's ingrained in me, even through entertainment, you know? So it is what it is. I appreciate you pulling up too, Shango. Cause I thought we wouldn't get along because you're like a strong personality like I am. And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna talk to this guy because we're gonna end up beefing. You feel me? We're gonna end up beefing.
No, my thing is, bro, if your heart is in the right place, is righteous, I will look over any personal beef. I don't even have any personal thing, between us or whatever. But I'm saying if your heart is righteous, I'll overlook it. I don't care. My thing, because I'd rather look for the commonalities than the differences. Right.
I just noticed like a lot of these guys who are in those spaces, you know, like where, you know what I'm talking about, like black male spaces or whatever.
Yep.
A lot of these guys are very judgmental. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm judgmental, but they're judgmental to the point where they're not even self-examining, you know, looking at themselves. You feel
Right.
me?
Right.
But it is what it is. I definitely appreciate you pulling up. You feel me?
Yeah,
Definitely
no
appreciate
problem.
you pulling up. This has been a good show. So everybody knows what it is. This is disagreeable. I'm disagreeable. We are disagreeable. And I'm out. Next time we're gonna have a fun show. You feel me? We're gonna go back to the old school shit. Everybody knows like how we're really supposed to end the show. I'm supposed to really wind it down with the Japanese bitches. You feel me? Definitely Fine Low. This has been a very good one. You feel me? Fine Low doesn't come on the panels because he's a international spy or something like that. But you know, I got the coolest niggas around here. If you can deal with me and deal with these concepts, and we feel like we are gravitated towards each other, you're definitely a cool person and a free thinker. You feel me? And I appreciate all of you. This is disagreeable. I'm disagreeable. We are disagreeable. Peace.